What's up and what's going on, everybody? We back in here with another one. Shout out to everybody in the building. I see y'all coming on in here. We about to get into this. This will be a continuation, so to speak, somewhat of a continuation. The topic came up on the last show, the whole concept of the term that I don't even want to say at the beginning of the show, but forget them kids, but with a different F word in the beginning. And it was I argued that no, you shouldn't take that approach, especially if you're talking about your own actual kids. I can only think of some extreme situations where you should have that approach when it comes to your own actual biological kids. But the topic more or less came up talking about situations where fathers find out that the kids are not theirs. Okay? What happens? He been raising little Junior for, I'll use the example. I said he been raising him for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Find out it ain't his. Definitely on all the daytime talk shows when he says, and I'm still gonna be there for him. When he does that whole little spiel, the crowd just claps and everybody just so happy and all of that. But we drew a hard line and said, no, F them kids. F them. That's the hard line that we drew. So we're about to be digging into that a little more. A story just came out. I think this guy is kind of known. I don't know for sure. I don't really care about who he is. I just care about what was said and what he posted, what he tweeted, his response to finding out about it. We're going to explore a few more things. We're going to look at, it's funny, one of the daytime talk shows, the usual crew, the usual suspects was talking about it. And it was funny. The non-black woman, the Asian woman was like, yes, of course, paternity test at birth should be mandatory. It was a blackish chick there who looked like she was probably maybe 25% black. Y'all know her if y'all see her. She's somebody. I just can't remember her name. She was saying, of course, paternity. Yeah, it should be tested at birth. Yes. The black chick on the show, I can't think of her name. Y'all gonna know her when y'all see her. Big fat chick to be on one of them shows that look like The View. She was coming up with every other reason why paternity fraud shouldn't be tested at birth. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about it. Not paternity fraud, but just a paternity test at birth. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have that discussion. But either way, without further ado, let's strap on in. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
All right. Let's get into it. Shout out to Early Bird Squad, those that make it in bright and early. OGJ Speed in the bit. Man, when I start at 12, he on the West Coast. That means he already up. I got to start at 9 so he could be asleep. We can make it through the whole show, wrap up at 12, and he just not waking up. That's what we got to do. But anyway, OG in here says, I'm coming back for revenge. He got Spartan kicked off the show last show. The bounty was in effect. So, yeah. We'll see what happened with that. Little Rock 2517 in the building says no OG. The bounty we setting the bounty at 37 cents. So, yeah, man, look at that damn picture. If this picture is authentic, this is who we trying to protect now. No, we're not trying to protect him. However, look, okay. So we're gonna look at him. We're gonna look at him and say he ain't worthy of protection. Meanwhile, you ran interference and protected plenty of chicks with bullet holes, stab wounds, face and eyelash, eyelid tattoos, and you ran interference and protection for every damn body. Don't try to front like you have a standard now. We only need to speak on or have defense of the most upstanding of gentlemen. Like, nah, cut it out. Cut it out. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me shout out to people that made it in early. Dolomite in the building says society has hit crossroads on the paternity fraud situation. With it getting so bad, are we going to do what's right for the kids and society, or is we going to keep protecting deceptive women's lives? Listen, I did some content on this a while back, and I found out that to that statement that you made about doing right for children, I still need to play with my camera a little more. But as far as that doing right for children in society, listen, in the content that I did on it before, a lot of people are of the view that doing right for the child is not telling the truth. Why? Because you have a father who was there, who's willing. He's there at birth. That man who showed up versus the man who didn't show up, you know, they're looking at it like a father is a father. Any father would do. We know who the mama is. Like, they actually look at it like that. Like, it was stories where the staff, they didn't want to report the results. They saw the dad. He was looking there. He was looking happy. He was looking proud. They was like, we're not going to deprive this child of this father, even though he's not the father. So when you say that question, you know, are we going to do what's right for the kids and society? No, they think it's best for the kids and best for society for any man that's willing to be the father. That's how a lot of people look at this. But thank you for your comments. It's so bad you got women holding that lie for 20 to 30 years, then be like, oh well, it happens, when the truth comes out, because in the mind of the sisterhood, the statute of limitations has ran out for them. Man, get out of there. LA Divine in the building says, love Dorsey with some question marks. I have no idea what you're talking about. Somebody, Omega Dread says, wow, this picture. Dolomite says, I absolutely agree. Mr. Snazzy in the building. Shout out to you, Omega Dreads, once again. Mac the Trucker says, salute everyone. M. Perry says, what about them other kids? They not his either? No, they are. That's the sad part about this, that we're gonna not the sad part. I mean, well, from some perspective, yeah, it is. It is a sad part. because it was mentioned in his the guy when he spoke on it. He said his daughter he's gonna have to explain to his daughter while he's picking her up, but not picking up her brother. So he's giving the F them kids treatment to it based off everything that we see. But we're gonna dig into that. Somebody said now DNA telling lies. And Perry says F them kids. Yeah. But no, it is a messed up situation. It is a messed up situation. He's picking up his kids and one of them not getting in the car no more because it ain't his. 9 years in. That's some ice water in the veins. I can't knock it. I can't knock it. Shout out to LaShawn Jefferson. Shout out to Zulu FBA Ghost. Shout out to everybody else in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. But before we get into the main topic, before we get all the way into the main topic, it's still a few things we want to touch on. Something that I just caught wind to. Y'all remember when the situation happened with Monica at the concert when she jumped out on the stage, jumped off the stage, some dude hit a chick and she's like, oh hell no, or whatever, a new angle just leaked out showing that lo and behold, the woman hit the guy first. The woman actually hit the guy first. This was the original video right here. Oh, what the fuck? Why did it just mess up?
Hold up.
Turn off. Now I gotta go digging for it because the sound wasn't working. All right, here we go. Okay, we have sound. Let's make it bigger.
Don't you hit up like that.
All right.
Listen. Listen, if y'all don't get that nigga up out of here, won't even fucking play like that. You ain't no nigga like that, nigga. You out your fucking mind? Shut up.
I like how the organist is still the guy on the organ just still playing like a nice little. It's almost like an altar. He playing like the little altar call little thing. Like he's playing real soft and gently during all this. Like it's an altar call or some shit. Oh, he just stopped.
You don't hit no fucking lady like that. Fucking suck ass nigga.
But anyway, you can hear Monica in there going full gangster, and she sounded like she was with E-Murder. But anyway, so you can hear her in there. She going off, she popping off. But this is what actually happened at another angle.
And wait a minute. I know. Don't you hit up like that. Listen.
Now you can see, she hit him first, and he struck back.
Listen.
See, right now he holding her arm, her fist balled up, and he holding her arm. If y'all could see that, he holding her arm. The second he let her arm go, she swung on him.
Wait a minute. I know. Don't you hit up like that.
All right, just some angle and perspective on that. Now, Mike is saying what I'm kind of believing as well, that she had to see that punch. If she got good enough of a bird's eye view on that stuff, and was already saying, hold on, or whatever. Like she was already seeing it. If she saw him land a punch, she saw her land that punch. So it's kind of hard for me to believe that she just was just completely in the dark on her landing that punch on him. And the punch she landed versus the hit he landed, it looked all of it looked as equal velocity. It looked like standard equal rights and equal lefts. It's just he ain't he ain't just beat the shit out of her and just stomp her out or do nothing. No, she hit him, he hit her back, and that was that. That was that. However, the reaction is going to be what the reaction is going to be. That's a female. Now, listen, you're talking to me, a guy who I've never hit a woman. I've been in situations where it would have been justified. It would have been justified, but I've never done it. I've never done it. But we are increasingly moving towards that world where people, like, even when you look at this comment section, here go a chick right here. There ain't no blue check bar name. I don't, you can say she's doing it for attention, but I think this just her. This just a regular average Jane chick with 333 followers. So it ain't like she trying to do something for clout. She's like, she hit him first. So after that, it's up. Men aren't supposed to hit women, but women shouldn't hit a man without the expectation that you might get hit the F back. So a lot of people are with it now. We're seeing somewhat of a sea change. Not that I'm, advocating for chicks to get hit, but I am advocating for the understanding that he ain't wrong if he hit you back. That's more so what I'm advocating for. I don't rejoice at the sight of a woman getting hit in the face by a man, but I do advocate for them having an understanding of the perspective. Once you hit that man, you have forfeited your right to be treated like a lady, and anything that happens after that is a fair play. Ain't no flag on the play. Nobody goes to the penalty box. No, you hit this. A human hit another human in the face, and then the human hit the other human back. That's what happened. This man says here, she hit him first. Who raised y'all? A man does not put his hands on a woman, period. I don't agree with women hitting men either, but I'd rather him grab her. Okay, all right. So yeah, so now he's on that. I'd rather him grab her or push her before you throw a punch at her face. Yes, she should keep her hands to herself. So he's straddling the fence in the middle, this guy. Yes, she should keep her hands to herself first, but men are more powerful than women. It could have been handled different. Don't at me either. I said what I said. So he's straddling the fence in the middle. He's where he's saying, oh, she shouldn't be hitting him, but he's going to say that, but he shouldn't have hit her. He should have did this. He should have did that. He should have subdued her in some kind of way. Like, no. I want to live in a place where, where that's not, that's not the expectation. The expectation is if you hit somebody in the face, you will be hit back. I want to live in a world where that's 100% the expectation. So that whole, he could have did this, he could have did that. Nope. I don't care. As a man who never hit a woman, and I'm sort of confident in the notion that I never will. I'm fairly confident that I never will hit a woman. But I want the social expectation to be, if you hit a person, that person is duty bound, well within his right. It's just that the end of. This person, I think this is a woman. I mean, it's a cat in the avatar, so that's more than likely a woman. Says, keep all hands, feet, and objects to yourself. They taught us this in kindergarten. Not all men were raised to never hit a woman. So don't take these chances, ladies. Fair enough. Fellas, in this situation, these are your options. Walk away, effectively restrain. This is a fella with a blue check. This is a guy with a blue check. Can't trust them blue check niggas. You cannot trust blue check niggas on the internet. I'm just going to throw that out there. If they got a blue check by their name and they're a man, don't trust them. Fellas, in this situation, these are your options. Walk away. Effectively restrain her. Tell her, hey, that's not cool. Guide her hands and hug her. Use words and de-escalate. Turn away from the punches. Okay, he must be a comedian. Because at the he says offer food. That might work. Oh man, he said offer food. That might work. I give him that. Another guy here says, looks to me like he's grabbing her to prevent her from hitting him. That's the same thing I saw. Stop hitting men, then expecting folks' reflexes not to kick in and hit back. This is a woman. Says, I could be wrong, but it sounds like she's yelling for him to get off of her. He's holding her hands. Her hands break free and she punches him. Then he punches her. Now, until there is footage of what happened from the start to finish, he's still wrong. Because why the fuck are you grabbing this lady? Okay. Now, clearly she sees this as he was grabbing on her. I see him holding the hand that was trying to hit him. I see him hold. If somebody is holding somebody's wrist, let me explain it like this. If somebody is holding somebody's wrist up here like that, that's a restraining maneuver. All right, you're restraining somebody. You ain't, so in the second that she broke free, she threw a punch. So clearly he was trying to not be punched. He was grabbing her holding her hand so she won't hit him. That's clearly what I saw happening. See, he got both of her arms. If you holding both of somebody's arms, that's not an attacking move. That's a defensive move. Holding someone's arms. You're not attacking, you're defending. As soon as she broke away from the defense, she punched. Y'all couldn't see it, but he had both of her arms like this. Like he had her, had her left arm like that and had her right arm like that, and then she's trying to break free. He's holding her arm. As soon as she broke free, she threw a punch.
I know. Don't you not like that?
He then punched her. Now, until there is footage of what happened from the start to finish, he's still wrong. Because why the fuck are you grabbing this lady? Seems to me like if you can stand there and be grabbing her arms, you could have walked away, sir. You notice how much they are preaching the walk away method? Notice how much they are preaching the walk away method. Now, granted, we didn't find the same exact women, but I tend to believe if we did find the same exact women in their response to the situation where the guy punched a woman and then her son shot the guy, I guarantee they won't make the same. She could have walked away. She could have just been quiet. She could have not engaged in the argument. She could have retreated. I guarantee they wouldn't have made that same argument. In fact, a woman came right on my show and was making the no, she got right to stand her ground argument. You know, but they want men to walk away. They want men to walk away. They reserve the right to be the aggressors. They reserve the right to be the aggressors, but they want men to walk away. That's what they want. OG said, I'm playing Stevie Wonder this morning. Dude, you stay on your Ray Charles. But anyway, let me read a few more of these before I move on. He says, you could have walked away, sir. The way these men are nowadays, he probably was being, oh my goodness, he probably was being sassy and tried to push her out the way to see Monica. LOL. Okay. All right. Monica didn't see her hit him first. They both should have got kicked out. All right. Just when I was losing faith, this is a chick that says that they both should have got kicked out, acting like kids, fighting, listening. How you fighting listening to R&B? So this is mostly like probably like 90s, early 2000s R&B they listened to and got into a fight. What kind of shit is that? Says so she hits him first and she's the victim. This is a chick saying that. But all right. But there it is. There it is. You're asking, what does a blue check mean? That just means you got come on, you know social media. That means you got a certain amount of followers and status, you know. When you get over 100,000, it's not a magic number. It's a certain amount of clicks, likes, searches. Basically, you're somebody. I don't know. You're somebody status wise in the algo when you get that blue check. You know, some people get it at 100K followers. Some people might not get it into 250K followers. But yeah, that's how that blue check works. And when dudes get them blue checks, because it's hard to get that blue check, and they don't want to lose that blue check by their name, so they play in between the lines when they get that blue check. They definitely play in between the lines when they get that blue check. So they don't want to say anything or do anything to disrupt the sanctity of their blue check. So yeah, that's why whenever they start talking, giving social commentary on a situation, you know, you don't want to, you know they gonna smuggle in some bullshit. Says the fact that he was restraining her should lead you to believe that she tried to hit him before or was waving her hands in his face. Yes. I mean, I see a man holding her hands. I just, see a man holding her hands. But all right. Let's get up out of this one. But shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button that lets everybody know that you're here. Lets everybody know that we are here and we are in the building. She did offer some kind of apology. I didn't really understand the apology. It didn't really make sense. She says, I apologize. She said, I apologize there. And I'm apologizing here for my actions, but no one would take action. I was so triggered. I watched and she didn't appear to even know him. It appeared to be about space during a packed concert. He punched her with all his strength. My intentions were to prevent her from being hit again, and she wasn't. I asked for help. It fell on deaf ears. It was like seeing my mother or an aunt be hit. Well, they always do that. You're just like that Jada Pinkett when Snoop called Gail a bitch. That's like, you called me a bitch. You called my daughter a bitch. You called my mother. You called my grandmother and Harriet Tubman a bitch. It's like they it's like it go back generations when they when one woman has something happen to her. But this woman was 50 plus. I pray she's okay. Happy Sunday, everyone. Yeah, I don't even know what she's apologizing for, to tell you the truth. I don't know what she's apologizing for. If she was apologizing because she saw the full tape and thought her interpretation was kind of wrong, then I can get an apology. But other than that, she did what she did. She said what she said, and it don't sound like she removing herself from anything that she said or separating for herself from anything that she said. So I don't know. I don't know what the apology is for. In a completely unrelated story, we find out that Idris Elba, while being a good Samaritan, got a gun pulled on him. Trying to save hoes. Not just playing, but technically, yeah, that is what happened. Idris Elba says he nearly lost his effing life when held at gunpoint defending a woman. All right. Idris Elba once went the extra mile. I don't even think I got. Oh yeah, it is up. Says Idris Elba once went the extra mile to protect a woman from her partner. Remember, we say if those two people are screwing each other, you intervene, you risk your life. She's going to be back screwing that guy tomorrow. So okay. Anyway, trying to protect a woman from her partner, only to find himself in the man's crosshairs instead. In a new interview with the Daily Mail, the Luther star, I haven't seen Luther, opened up about the terrifying encounter. I nearly lost my effing life after attempting to stop a man threatening his girlfriend outside a club. So he was just threatening her. He wasn't actually hitting her, And I've said this before. I see a woman, if I assess the situation, I see she's truly 100% a victim, 100% to no fault of her own. If I think it's something reasonably I can do to help the situation, I will. I'm not going diving on no grenades. But if I see an innocent person, a child or a woman who I know just is completely innocent, I fully assess that she's completely innocent, and somebody is just doing some bullshit, I'm okay with intervening. But when I say assess the situation, yeah, you need to assess it. Because if it just looked like some domestic, arguing, two people who gonna be arguing right now, and then fucking 15 minutes later, stay out of that shit. Stay out of that shit. A lot of times in this day and age, stay out of it. Most of the time, stay out of it. But I do want to live in the close to ideal world where, yeah, the strong protects the weak, but the weak is claiming to be strong and don't need no man. So it's like the man's actual nature of wanting to be the person in society that actually, keeps things in order. The people that need the most order fight against it. So that's why it's like, fuck it. That's why I'm like, but in rare situations, when you know for a fact that, that somebody is weak and innocent, and if you can do something about it, ain't nothing wrong with doing nothing about it. I make that very clear. But anyway, he goes on to say a guy was wailing on his missus. That's some okay. He was wailing on his missus, screaming in her face, "I'll effing kill you!" Damn, and so on. I come around and I go, look how beautiful she. Oh my goodness! So she was pretty. That's why. Look how beautiful she is. Why would he talk to this beautiful princess like that? Okay, all right, here it is. This is somebody who ain't assessed a situation. He did it. He did it out of White Knight and Simpery. That's the sound.
It was he.
It sounded like he just did it because he just saw a pretty woman. He wanted to save the princess from the tower. That's what this sound like. Unfortunately, instead of diffusing the situations, Alba's words appeared to escalate it further. He pulled out a gun and stuck it right in my face, and goes, "You talking about my girl?" He thought I was trying to hit on her. Elba explained, "I remember thinking, don't play negotiations like that. Consequences, man." Elba didn't elaborate on the actions. he took to talk the man down or what happened to the woman after the encounter. But given that the actor is able to recollect the instance, the situation seems to have been quelled. Elba is currently stars. Oh wow, even they make mistakes. Elba is currently stars. I think they mean Elba is currently starring in Apple TV Hijack, where he plays the corporate negotiator, suddenly finding himself. Okay, so this might be a fake story because he's trying to relate it to the movie Negotiator, but anyway, or the TV show Negotiator, suddenly finding himself using skills to save the entire plane full of people from hijackers. But anyway, had to touch on that one. Yeah, Mrs. Okay, yeah. Aaron was telling me in the back, Mrs. That's British speak for lady. No, I know that, but they spelled it in the article. Yeah, I probably had it so small y'all can see it. They spelled it Missus when they spelled Mrs. They didn't spell it Misses. It said Missus. Like it, so it was some British shit. Yeah. I don't know if y'all could see it. Oh yeah, y'all can't see that at all. Okay, cool. Y'all can. Yeah, it don't look like y'all can see that because it looked like I got it too small. So, but but yeah, they had it spelled funny. But all right. Moving along. What else before I get into the main topic? What am I? Oh yeah, one more thing. One more thing before I get into the main topic here. 170 people in the building. Hit the like button. 170 people in the building. Hit the like button. Now, here is another one. And the sound may not work on this one either because, well, we don't need it. Put it like that. We don't need it because I ain't trying to get copyright struck. But this is, some of y'all may have heard this story. The young Miami, who I understand is one of the city girls. I'm not very familiar, but the story piqued my interest when apparently her son was out and about, in that nightlife with them. Like, I don't know what your son doing at the club. I don't know if it was, I guess it had to be a strip club. The story reports that, young Miami responds to fans finding videos of her son throwing money on strippers at Rolling Loud. Distasteful. That's why I don't post my kids. So yeah, this is a video of what appears to be a 10-year-old boy throwing money in the air. That's the video. Hopefully y'all could see that. But you got this young boy throwing money on a stripper. That's what's going on. Somebody asked, you going to address this? My son at Rolling Loud having a ball backstage. Let's address it. And it goes on to say, that's why I don't post with my kids. Y'all bitches can talk a sort in y'all mouth about me, but I'll never give y'all the chance to have an opinion about my kids. I don't give a fuck. But I'm in this hole. What's up? Okay. Like, that's not responding to it. That's not addressing it. Could have just ignored this, but okay. Let's see what else is going on. Somebody is saying he's 6 years old. He shouldn't be out that late, and he shouldn't be throwing money at strippers. It's okay to admit that you're wrong and try to become a better mother. She responded by saying, he's 10. Oh, he's 10. Okay, my bad. We thought he was 6. Internet overreacting, not having all the facts. He's 10. Yeah, you know, our bad. Our bad. We we thought he was we thought he was only 6. He's 10. So it's all good. So anyway, another post in here says, me and Ja do Rolling Loud together every year. It's my favorite time because I get to bond with him and turn up. This was the best year. I loved the smile on his face. I'm a cool auntie. So I think he was with the auntie while doing it. But this is I think this is young Miami, you know, I think that the actual mother. Forgive me, I'll be forgetting who's who and what's what with these people. Says, thank you so much. That shit literally brings tears to my eyes and reminds me every time that this shit is bigger than us. Ja or Jay said that was the best day of his life when throwing money on strippers. Thank you. Jatavia. Okay, I don't know these people. And he loved Uzi. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's getting weirder and weirder. It's getting weirder and weirder, just like the whole internet dialogue that they just could have kept to themselves is just getting stupider and stupider. Dumber and dumber. That's what this shit is. Then he got his ones and threw them up like a boss. Too bad y'all wasn't there to pick them up. Nobody touched him. He was with me, safe, smiling, and bawling. Bye. Like, it's that ignorant. It's that ignorant out there. Like, it's literally that ignorant. Now, another thing related to this, because this develops even more. Give me a second. Another thing related to this. Give me a second. I don't got everything all the way together. Y'all know I be on CP time for a reason. I be on CP time for a reason. Give me a minute. Now, this is the interesting part because this is the same chick in an interview. She's being asked about her daughter. Now, we saw her son got down. Now she's being asked about her daughter. Now watch this.
Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl.
No, I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, you know, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother ways. Like, you know, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, you know, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
So your son,
now let that sink in. Let that sink in that the son can be out partying, throwing money on strippers. The daughter, you don't want her to be a city girl. I want her to go to school. I want her to, you know, I basically want her to get her education. I want my daughter raised differently. I don't want my daughter to be like me. But my son can be knee deep in the bullshit. My son can be a city boy. I don't want my daughter to be a city girl. I want better. Why is my phone ringing? My bad, y'all. Damn it. I want better for my daughter. You know, the 10-year-old boy out there throwing money on strippers, the logical conclusion that when the daughter 10, she should be out there twerking. Right? Like, doesn't that logically follow with the way that it's going? But she don't want that for her daughter. She don't want that for her daughter. So, you know, the whole thing, like, you know, we've talked, a lot of people have talked about that, and I've never really went in on that much, you know, looking at the difference in how women raise daughters versus how they raise sons, whether or not they coddle the sons, neglect the sons, but they put more into the daughters. It's like they raise the daughter. They got to raise her to be strong, independent, and able to make it in this world. But the sons, it's like, hey, whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. He just going to assimilate into whatever, bullshit life. It's just like, this is an example of that. This is an example of that, and it blows me away. It blows me away that on one hand, what does ESFB stand for? CN7CNGB G says, "Are you adding context?" Because I never heard her say that. What? You don't got to hear her say it. I just played all the clips of the boy throwing money on strippers and her being okay with it. And now she's saying she don't want her daughter to be a city girl. We don't got to hear her say it. We don't got to hear her say those exact words. Like, no, we just saw the evidence. And in that, like, she's literally okay with the son being out there throwing money on strippers. But she's saying she don't want the daughter. She don't want the daughter to be like her. She don't want the daughter to be the city girl.
Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother ways. Like, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
So your son,
yeah. There it is right there. It's not that much getting around that. But wait, there's more. Hold up. Here we go.
Hold up.
Now listen to this shit.
Like, he don't even give me trouble now. Like, he's not disrespectful. He's not like that.
Well, clearly that's because you're raising him right. So can he bring a city girl home?
For sure.
So your son can have a city girl, but Summer cannot be a city girl.
I don't want that for Summer.
Everything about this is saying that I want my son on all the nigga shit. But I don't want that for my daughter. I tell y'all, when people be saying stuff in these spaces, it's like, I think we be making the shit up. But when we just roll the footage of some of them talking, they will confirm a lot of things that's being said. They will confirm a lot of things that's being said. Like the logic in that. The logic in that I don't want my daughter to be a city girl, but it's okay for my son to date a city girl. It's like she's saying that it's wrong. It is bad for the life of a woman to be a city girl. But yes, okay, I want that. I want that. What's bad for a woman's life that I don't want my daughter to be. I want that to be imposed and inflicted on my son. I want my son to have those problems, but I don't want my daughter to be that problem. It's like you can't make this up. It's like you can't make this up. And yes, she's just one person. Yes, she's just, she's an avatar. When we see rich people talking, rich celebrities talking, it's like, we want to say, okay, that's one person, but we can't deny the fact that that permeates throughout the culture. You can't deny the fact that there's a lot of broke city girls that there's a lot of broke city girls raising sons and daughters who damn near think like that. It's been like this for many decades, baked into the cake. Shout out to SKC. Appreciate the $2 super chat. I don't know if you answered my question when I said what is FES, whatever you said.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
If he answers that question, click on it for me, RM. He had put in some series of letters that I didn't know what it meant. Eat, sleep, fight, bust. Why? Eat, sleep, fight, bust. Where'd that come from? Where the hell did eat, sleep, fight, bust come from? Is that one of yours? Did you make that up? Did Platinum come up with that one? That's too funny. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, there you go, keep it 100. She want her son to be a city girl savior. She want her son to be a resting place or safe haven for the city girls, for the city girl types. Yeah, yeah. That probably best covers it. That probably.
It was he.
That probably best covers it right there. But all right, now let's move into the main topic. Now, as you see the image in the thumbnail, that was actually a web post. All right. That was actually, let me slide over here a little bit. That was actually a web post that was posted. A blue check nigga. I said don't trust them blue check niggas. But anyway, that was a web post. It reads, 9 years later, just found out my first son ain't even mine's. This shit so fucked up. I still love you though, KJ. That J stands for Junior. Remember we just talked about that on the last show? It's your son, you love him. You called him, you named him Junior. You named him after you. He got your name. You find out he ain't yours. I still love you, KJ. I wish I can tell you myself, because I'm all you know. But your mama gotta be accountable and introduce you to your real dad. Shaking my head. This little ninja supposed to be my junior. Got my full name and everything. What the hell y'all gonna tell me? What the hell y'all gonna tell him when he sees his sister leaving with me and he gotta stay? He not gonna understand. This man is embodying the full spirit of fuck them kids. Not his own kids. He's still coming to get his daughter. However, the kid that's not his firstborn son that got his name, he has said fuck it. He has said fuck it. He is literally on some look. I'm not picking him up. I've been picking up all these kids for all these years, and then now all of a sudden I find out one of them ain't mine. That one can't come no more. And he don't feel no type of way about it. I mean, I can't say he don't feel no type of way about it because he do feel some type of way about it. That much is true. He do feel something. You could tell that he in his feelings. Like we literally just talked about this on the last show. Like we literally just talked about this on the last show. How the paternity fraud, all right? The paternity fraud it's okay. The stat that people throw out there, they say it's at 30%. Okay. I say, in fairness, the data is noisy on that. In fairness, the data is noisy on that. And the reason that the data is noisy on that, because those are tests that come from when you know, basically people go down there and get the test when they suspect. Like, so that's not an across the board average. All right. It's not an across the board average like they tested everybody or they tested a random sample. So it's 30% in a non-random sample. That's still way too fucking high. All right. But 30% in a non-random sample. We don't know what it actually is. All right. We don't know. We don't know. And I think we won't truly know that, because when I did my research on it, this was a show I did well over a year ago, I found that it's so much apprehension when it comes to actually finding out, like doing a precise study on it. It's like they don't want to do it. It's like they every piece of data that you could find on that is like incidental data or circumstantial data, if that's the right word. Like, they had some kids doing an experiment where they were studying blood types, and two particular blood types can only produce a kid with certain blood types. And they was doing that assignment at school, and all the kids did it. And some of the kids found out that, wait a minute, if I'm this blood type and mommy and daddy are this blood type, then how can that be? And like, so kids in goddamn middle school finding out that that their dad wasn't their dad. You know, when you go mining for data on it, you find stuff like that. You find some study, over somewhere in Europe from 30 years ago, where they did something and it was some astronomically high numbers, that sort of coincide with that 30%. But again, it wasn't random samples. It wasn't random samples. So we still don't got the ironclad study where they did a random sample so we can get the exact number. Carlton Banks is saying 30% of kids are not the father. This is very common. Okay, look like RM is posting a study. Put that link in the private chat. Oh no, wait, no, that's my video. That's my stream. Okay, yeah, that's just my stream. Okay, because I looked up. I looked up when I did that stream. I looked up as much as I could. Nobody is really trying to do that study. Everybody is running from that study, and even when it comes to like in the actual hospital, it was some reports that show that they don't even want to tell the truth in the hospital when they do the DNA test, and that kid got a father that's right there. Don't tell him. Don't tell him he's not the father. Just let him walk out believing that he is. Like, it's that bad. It's that dark out there when it comes to paternity. Now there are some people that are pushing. There are some people that are making a push for it. Mandatory paternity testing, like that's a thing that some people are pushing for. But we ain't there yet. We ain't there yet. But yeah. Oh wait, before I play this clip, I do gotta pull this up here, because in a completely related and drop that down. Hold on, I'll drop that down. In a completely related but unrelated story. A Jamaican man beheads his wife after finding out their 6 kids are not his. In a unrelated but related story, DNA says DNA. A man beheads his wife after finding out their 6 kids are not his. A Jamaican man has beheaded his wife after realizing their 6 kids are not his. An angry man in Jamaica who suddenly found out that his wife had been cheating on him and that all 6 children in the marriage were not his, reportedly cut off the woman's head in a fit of deadly anger. According to the local newspaper reports in the South American country, the gory incident happened in St. Andrew, where the man who was not named, decided on a DNA test on his children and realized that none of them were his. The woman, Karen Rainford, I don't know, I'm shocked that they're not naming the man who did the beheading, but they're naming the woman who got beheaded. The woman, Karen Rainford, was said to have later to confess to her husband that she had been sleeping with other men, resulting in children, and begged for his forgiveness. But days leading up to the murder, her husband cut his dreadlocks and told people close to him that he would kill his wife, but no one seemed to take him seriously. A source said that what really angered the man was the fact that Rainford, that's the woman, had often gone to his workplace to embarrass him. Oh, wow. Workplace to embarrass him for child support, knowing, okay, she had to go. I'm sorry. Wait, no, I don't condone that, but yeah. I don't know why it seems like that hurts more. And I'm sorry, y'all can't see that. Y'all can't see what I'm reading. I don't know why it seems like that hurts more than, if y'all in a relationship and you find out that they're not your kids. It seems like it hurts more if y'all wasn't together, but you paying child support and she dragging you through court, and she every time you get a raise or get a new job, she trying to raise she trying to take you back, and you got to show a judge your check stubs. Every 6 months you got to show a judge your check stubs. She got you on that type of shit, She just screwing you through the system and all that, and then you find out it ain't yours. To me, it seems like that hurts even more. That hurts even more than the emotional hurt of, man, I actually love this child and I love her. But no, just you've been fucking with me and you knew that it wasn't, because you can understand she still need her. She's still a piece of shit. But you can at least logically understand how a woman in her wicked cunningness could still say that this man is with me. He loved me. I know he's not the father, but he loved this kid and he loved me and he taking good care of us and we happy and we a happy family. I'm just going to take this dirty little lie to the grave. You can understand a woman drawing that conclusion, even though she's a piece of shit. You can understand her drawing that conclusion. But if you know he ain't the father, but you sitting there jerking him around through the system, got, as they say, the white man breathing on his neck every time he get another job, he got to go check stubs, and you trying, if you doing him like that and it ain't his, and it's like more of a, yeah, you got to die. Yeah. I don't condone that, but yeah. It's even more wicked. Like you can make a self-preservation argument if this man that loved her and loved the kid, but she know it might not be his, but she ain't say nothing. You can make a self-preservation argument, but just fucking with him, and ooh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. I don't got a Jamaican accent, so I don't know how they would say off with her head, but yeah. A source said what really angered the man was the fact that Rainford had often gone to his workplace to embarrass him for child support, knowing that he was not the real father of the kids. So coupled with the discovery, he was said to have beheaded her just like he had promised. Ooh, that's all kind of messed up. That is all kinds of messed up. Yeah, RM is sending me a study right now that, yep, this looked like the same study that I looked at. It says the American Association Blood Bank, which accredits DNA testing labs, released its findings about paternity testing in a landmark 1999 report. The report states that 30% of DNA paternity tests nationwide turn out negative. The tidal wave of outrage at this report's findings stated out as a rather small ripple, but has grown bigger and bigger in 17 years since, and with good reason. As more men have questioned paternity, they are finding that despite DNA evidence disproving a biological connection and the paternity fraud is recognized and handled as a criminal offense, the courts are not always willing to let these men off financially. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wow. They not letting me look at that. We about to look at a few more things. Here. Because this is an interesting one. We got to look at an interesting one about the thought process of people on this. We're going to try to dig into that study, because it looks like this definitely looked like the same study that I went over before. But okay. Bottom line, paternity fraud is real, but society and courts are demonstrating the very definition of fatherhood is changing. The emotional ties between a man and the child are just as important as the biological relationship, and the emotional ties between a man and a child is just as important as a biological relationship, and both connections have weight in the legal paternity decisions. Including child support. Meanwhile, do you have doubts about what they're saying in all that mumble jumble wordy language that I just read? Is that they're looking at bond with child as a way to establish legal paternity, meaning your ass got to pay if it ain't your kid, whether it's your kid or not. Yeah, this shit is wild. We're going to get back more into that study. We got to look at the mindset of people on this, because you would think it would be an open shut case. When it's just a matter of, hey, should paternity tests be, automatic at birth? You think it'd be an open shut case, and most people would say yes, but maybe the lawmakers, the politicians, the powers to be, got their reasons. But no. It's a whole damn situation where even just regular folks having a conversation, and by regular folks, I mean regular women. By regular women, in this case, I mean a black woman who just can't simply say absolutely that yes, paternity testing should be mandatory at birth. It's like the amount of them that just cannot say that sentence. It's shocking. It's shocking.
Rapper 600 Breezy is allegedly caught up in some baby mama drama. The artist posted a comment that was later shared on the Shade Room.
And I'm sorry, I hate to do this, but if your name is 600 Breezy, you sound like you got baby mama drama. Your name's 600 Breezy. Anyway.
And it seems that he's basically begging his ex to provide a paternity test for their children. He also claims he's not a deadbeat dad, but deserves to know for sure if he's supporting kids of his own. So ladies, this got me thinking. Do you think, what if there was a day where maternity tests were actually, mandatory?
Do you know who your baby daddy is?
I'm sorry,
Did y'all hear her first response? Did y'all hear the first response from the first responder? Did y'all hear the words of the first responder? Right here. She said when this woman, I think this is Jeezy's wife, rapper Jeezy, when she said, do you think maternity, she meant paternity, but she said maternity, but she meant paternity, should be mandatory. When she said that, this woman over here says, do you know who your baby daddy is? Well, okay, if she answers yes, then her response probably would be, well, that's all that mattered then. If you know who it is, then you know who it is. Don't need to get no test. You can tell that's what she's going with. All right.
Paternity. You guys, mandatory. What if there was a day where maternity tests were actually like mandatory?
Do you know who your baby daddy is?
I'm sorry, maternity. You guys, what if there was a day where paternity tests were actually mandatory? Why aren't they?
Do you know who your baby daddy is?
I do.
Exactly.
But can I say this honestly?
Yes.
If they were mandatory, I would proudly take one because I want you to know.
That's right.
I want you to know that all of this I'm going through right now, that's you. Whole back that's not even buttoned up.
That's you.
Because of you.
That's you. I don't understand why they're not mandatory.
Yeah,
I feel that parents should absolutely know
Well,
what they've
that's
contributed
because
to, and
I was
children
reading
should
about that.
absolutely definitively know who their parents are.
Oh, my cards. Look, that I was reading about that, and there are activists that are trying to get a law to make it, but it's
mandatory.
not passing because for some women they feel that it would make more of a stigma.
Yeah.
Against women, you know,
It
that
makes
men
a stigma if you don't want to
stigmatize.
share.
She's coming up with every reason. And she presented it that way as if, okay, she just reporting a study, you know. It would be a stigma, you know, if they did it. But I mean, I'm just saying, if she's sitting there taking the time to do that, to the simple question that the other two women already answered directly, that yes, it should be mandatory, she's talking about the stigma by doing it. By even having it a mandatory is going to cause a stigma. No, it's going to cause the truth.
The results.
Yeah, right.
It becomes a stigma. If it was just mandatory and it was all over, the stigma would actually go away. It gets weird because people got to be asking you, am I your baby father? Maury Povich moments, you know? Are you the father?
But don't
if
you
it was
think it's
just mandatory and we just
that two people have sex and there's a possibility that woman's going to get pregnant, that it's a mature decision that, yeah, you are the father?
And you should know. But I think the stigma goes.
Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear her trying to say that it's a mature decision, you know, if y'all have, oh no, I said, RM saying, no, the Asian one is Jeezy's wife. That's what I'm saying, yeah. At least that's what I thought I said, the Asian woman was Jeezy's wife. But just making that correction, unless I don't know if RM's the only one who thought I got that wrong. But no, the Asian woman is Jeezy's wife. If I got that wrong, I want to correct that. Make sure I got that right. But yeah. Now she is trying to argue. And what's the name of the other chick? What's the name of the black chick? I forgot her name. I forgot her name that fast. But she's trying to argue that if two people get together and they have sex and they know the possibility that, you know, that a baby can happen, then that just means then you should just accept that that's your baby. You was having sex with that woman, wouldn't you? Didn't you have sex with her? Okay, then if she and go take what she said before, Olani Love, thank you. Take what she said before. You know who the daddy is, don't you? Don't you? So she's basically just saying, if you was fucking her and she said you the daddy, nigga, you the daddy. Like that's the argument. That is literally the argument. She can't unequivocally say, yes, paternity should be at birth. She's making an argument that reeks of, you know, if y'all had sex, if y'all, you know, just take the responsibility. Just do it. She's trying to reserve the right for women to pull paternity fraud. She's literally trying to reserve the right for women to pull paternity fraud.
You know, are you the father?
But don't
if
you
it was
think
just mandatory and we just
that two people have sex and there's a possibility that woman's going to get pregnant, that it's a mature decision that, yeah, you are the father.
And you should know. But
And the chick just debunked her that fast that yes, and you should know. It is a possibility that you could be the father, and you should know that you are the father. You should know it. Look at you look.
I think the stigma goes away when it becomes mandatory. When it becomes the norm that everyone has to do this is just the way it is.
We're just checking to make sure, just like you get all the tests when you are pregnant. You're taking blood tests, you're making sure the dad's healthy, you're making sure mom's healthy.
Well, it's
Let's
good
just
for
make sure it's your baby.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
It's good for the genetics.
Absolutely.
I will say that.
Yes.
But I think that there's still an issue with it's stigmatizing. Women are already women are already hit.
Your stigma is not more important than me being frauded. Your stigma does not outweigh me investing 18 years and even beyond into the life of taking care of somebody. Like, fuck your stigma. Like, god damn. She's still fighting against this. She's still fighting against men just being able to know the truth. Like the amount of just like that is absurd. That is absurd. If you take the total cost that it takes to raise a child, what is it, hundreds of thousands by the time that child is 21? $100,000 versus your stigma. Fuck your stigma. Let's find out. Let's know the truth. There is no stigma. Why? Because we know the truth. It's a stigma if we don't know the truth. It's a stigma if we playing the guessing game. She's making that bullshit ass believe all women argument.
Held to a different standard when it comes to, it's like women are already held to a different standard when it comes to, if you're married, but a lot of women that aren't married and having multiple partners and things like that. So I think that's what that has to deal with. But I mean,
I want
if
to
they can pass a law.
Yes, I want to read a case that happened, and maybe you guys know about this.
She is completely against it. She is literally 100% against it. Just through and through. Through and through. She's against it. Like that, it seemed like something like that. You'd probably be better off just lying and say, oh yeah, I support paternity at birth, but then just vote against it if it's a vote, fight against it some way, somehow on the back end. But to publicly sit there and just let everybody know, to publicly just sit there and let everybody know that you're against mandatory paternity at birth. That's the most telling thing ever. Like, you're literally saying, yeah, I want women to be able to lie on men. I want women to get pregnant first and then figure out who they want the daddy to be. I want women to reserve the right to be able to do that.
Lord, here we go.
A judge of the Delta State High Court, it was one of those, where Anthony Okorotis allegedly discovered that 3 children he had with his ex-wife were not his biological offspring. According to the judge in the statement, his former wife, Celia Juliet Ototo, walked away from the marriage when this youngest child, now 17 years old, was just 6. So from 17 till 6, this man has been paying for these 3 kids just because, he's doing the right thing as a dad.
Doesn't he look like him?
You gotta look up the story, guys, because it's intense.
I just don't want women stigmatized about they get pregnant, and then the minute they get pregnant, who is the actual father? Because there are a lot of responsible women that know who they having sex with, they know who they pregnant by, and all of that.
Wait, do you know some friends who maybe aren't sure because they're not married, and they're not sure because they've just been?
Well, you can be married and no.
Clearly, in this case.
Well, okay, you just debunked your own fucking argument. It's like, damn. She's stupid as hell. It's like, I ain't never seen nothing this stupid. She's just sitting there like, does he look like him? But did the kids look like? She said it was no DNA. They said that the DNA proved that the man wasn't the father. But do they look like him though? It's like, what fucking difference do it make? It's like, damn.
You know what I'm saying? But this is my thing. I feel like it's a win-win situation when there is mandatory paternity tests. It's a win-win situation because the father knows his responsibility and the mother now has to hold him to that responsibility.
I think if people are married, it shouldn't be that way because you might be doing some business that you don't need to do. And you gotta work it out.
They need to know.
Oh, God damn. God damn. All right, link is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The link is about to be in the chat. Like she literally has no argument. She's saying that if you're married, it should not be a paternity test because you might be doing something you don't need to. No. Married women can get away with it. It's like that was her negotiation. Her natural stance is I'm against it, but she said I'll meet you halfway. We just not gonna have married women getting tested. We not gonna do that to married women. Like I've never heard nothing that stupid ever. Like that was beyond normal levels of ridiculousness. SKC in the building. But before I get to you, shout out to Mike and Vince Perkins. Says OG thinks everyone knows this information. Boomer gonna boom. Boom. Boom baclat. Shout out to Mike and Vince Perkins.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
And thank you for putting $2 on it. He says mandatory paternity test will red pill U.S. men. Absolutely. We also got Charles Merchant in the building. Thank you for putting $10 on it. He says she means stigma equals scarlet letter. They don't want people to know that they are grifting 304s. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want.
Absolutely. I don't know why that one clicked and cut short, but thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. But all right, we're joined by SKC in the building. Go ahead. You have the floor. You have the mic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this may be another notch on the belt of my hypothesis that Black American subculture is anti-family.
Black American subculture is anti-family. You're saying that from, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even make a anti-family connection with that, but I mean it's fuckery and nigga shit and stupid shit for her to be literally arguing that. Like her argument is essentially women. I mean, I take it you're talking just directly about the Lonnie Love video, correct?
No, I'm saying all of it. Like and that's one of the weird things that gets me in these conversations is like take for instance, I'm not trying to pick, I'm just saying the viewpoint. I think in your chat, Ivor the Boneless, the whole country is anti-family now. No, actually it's not. You saw a vision of it just right there on that panel of three women. Mm-hmm. Two of them were stating, no, the guys should be able to have that information. There was only one that was saying, nah, that he shouldn't. And that's the default setting for Black American subculture.
I mean, I do believe that there's something in Black culture where it's not pro-family. I think more so than that being a not pro-family situation, that's more of I want women to have power in every situation and manipulate every situation to whatever advantage they need to manipulate it to. If they get pregnant and they feel like if they're with somebody and they fuck up and they cheat and they go do some hoeing, I want her to be able to make that man who she thinks is the best man or who she's supposed to be with. She basically want that woman to not get caught. I think it's more of that. It's more of hoes fighting for the right to be able to lie and manipulate at the highest level than the whole anti-family schema, and which is connected to it. But I think it's more. I think it's more of that. She's more concerned about, I mean, somebody in a roundabout way, because like she said, it shouldn't be mandatory, for a married woman. In a roundabout way, she's saying she don't want that family to break up because that woman did some fuck shit. So it's really advocating for women to be able to get away with fuck shit, not necessarily anti-family, but for women to be able to fuck men over, which you can work it back around to anti-family, but you want them to get away with it. But so I mean, I understand your point, but it's your point is kind of in the backdrop of it. But go ahead.
Yeah, she's all good with a family that's living a lie.
Yeah. It's more of dishonesty and deceit.
And most men won't call that a family.
Exactly. Fair enough. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I think they're advocating for, lies and deceit and family, as they call it, because a woman, a child, and a man in any way, shape, or form that they can get that man or have that man to their advantage, they're okay with it. Sort of like I didn't watch that damn Barbie movie, but I saw Dr. Tia Johnson when he the guy he just recently was interviewed by Obie Allen. I think he flew. Well, no, Obie Allen drove to him and they did something together, which was cool. He said that damn Barbie movie, based off everybody that he talked to that saw it and gave their reviews that he trusts. He said that the whole view of that movie was the view of, women don't need men. A woman has her true freedom and power when she's either away from a man, or if she has that man with her, but has control and power, or is basically running him in some way. And I think what she's saying sort of coincides with that, where, she want the woman to be able to control the situation with the man. She don't want the man having full knowledge and truth and being able to make his own decisions and fuck how they affect the woman. So it's almost like it's more from a woman power position that she's arguing from. But the end outcome, the end result of it is a family that I wouldn't consider a proper family. So yeah.
Yeah, and even when you looked at the other instance of like what they call city girls.
Oh yeah, that was fucked up. I forgot about
It's
that
like
one.
look how you're raising two children. You're raising them in such a way that the future generations will be anti-family.
Mm-hmm.
So you and a lot of these schemas, the ultimate result lends towards a subculture that is anti-family. I think the hypothesis is shaping out. I'm willing to see if anybody has counters and stuff, but yeah, I think overall it gets pretty much a wrap now that it can be stated without a shadow of a doubt that Black American subculture definitely in the majority leans towards being anti-family in its orientation.
All right. Sir Ty says, I don't think it's anti-fam. Well, he's not responding to what you just said. I think he's responding to what Lonnie Love was talking about. But he's saying, I don't think it's anti-family as much as family is not a priority and an afterthought. Of course, SKC thinks Of course, SKC thinks all thinks blacks is sheet, though. LOL. All right. I mean, we got what you said. We got what you said. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Do appreciate. Blame me for reading it wrong this time. You actually messed up. You actually messed up down there. But all right, shout out to Sir Tice. Shout out to Sir Tice. We're gonna pass it to who we got in here. True Hype in the building. Go ahead. What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this?
I think it's wild, man. Like to SKC's point, like a lot of this is pushing the whole family. And for some people that have a negative like outcome to people that have these counters, I'm not gonna personally say FTK, you know what I'm saying? But that's like a natural counter to some of the stuff that's come up. And you're putting people in a space, whatever, that is so it's not putting themselves in the best position or whatever. And I mean, at the end of the day, people for the most part are going to act selfishly unless you give them a reason not to. So if they don't have a connection to these quote unquote families, or they have this sever from the families, then they're going to have this outcry. One little factoid that I want to kind of mention in this too is there's countries that actually ban personal paternity tests. Like France banned like the personal test. The state can still like do it. I don't know how often they do that, but I guess because their paternity tests were coming back so high, the negatives being the things. And I want to know if maybe that's the quote unquote stigma that she really cares about. The fact that when these men find out that it's higher than 30% over here because of the subcultures and this new free love movement, basically, if the men are going to revolt, basically.
Well, no, I think you're right. Like, okay, let me just diffuse something. It's not a stigma that she's concerned about. It's the truth that she's concerned about. She's worried about the truth. And once those things get mandatory, now it's going to be truth. No longer stigma. Right now it's a stigma because, we really don't know exactly. We really don't know exactly. I know a lot of people want to just say 30% and just call it. But I mean, when I look at it, the data is noisy and it could be either hell, for all we know, it could be more, it could be less than 30. We don't know. We don't know because it's nothing. It hasn't been a proper definitive study on that. But looking at my cash app real quick, Osworld 933 in the building just dropped a $50 cash app on it. Just dropped a $50 cash app on it. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate that. Let me get to. Do appreciate you dropping a very, very heavy-handed cash app on it. Do appreciate that. But yeah, so what were you saying? Other than the stigma thing, what were you saying? That damn it, I forgot what else you said. You said something else I wanted to respond to.
Oh, I said the stigma piece and the anti-family stuff, like the subculture, like what SKC was kind of going on about.
Yeah, I mean, SKC, is building a pretty big puzzle. So in a roundabout way, he can connect those behaviors, actions, and thought process to something like we could go all the way to, like if we look at the part of the Black Lives Matters website that the three women that started it, the parts that they took down, where they were talking about like communal families. I forgot exactly how they worded it, but basically
they wanted to get rid of the traditional family.
They wanted to tear down, destroy the traditional nuclear family structure, and
but I mean,
they basically want families to just the collective of the community ultimately takes care of kids. Like that's the type of structure that they want with.
Well, I mean, they're trained Marxists, right? And like one of the things that Marx and several other people that didn't like, the West as it stands, right, was like the institutions. and one of the primary institutions of the West is where they felt, had its strength was the family. And one thing that I want to say, I watched a video of this guy that was like a predator, on children or whatever, and he said one of the things he looked for was like a strong, competent, like male. Like if he was gonna be, he'd be a threat to him. And another thing was like the just strong
Yeah.
family in general. And like, are women not even putting this into account whenever they're thinking about like their kids? I cringe every time I hear a woman say she doesn't need a man, because there's blind spots, and we're made to be interdependent of each other, not independent of each other. Humans haven't lived, for this long to be independent of each other, and we're much better together when we work together. But like, it's so weird how we come to this conclusion, because I know more men that are like that, they don't want like the headache or whatever, but they would like a woman. You know what I'm saying? That, and they're never gonna say, "I don't need a woman." I've yet to hear a man like, say that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I don't take no joy in saying this part of it, but the fact of the matter is that we could break down, like, you got to scratch beneath the surface to truly break down and explain the reasons, the odds and ends and outcomes and all the factors as to why women actually need men. But the fact of the matter is, a world has been built and set up and constructed in a way and civilized in a way that in the Western world they could function and get by without a man. you know so it's almost like that's the world. It's like that's the world we live in. That's the world we've more or less created.
Hey,
So
wait till these rolling blackouts start happening more frequently, because the men that built the world, like, it was kind of like piecemeal together, right? And like a lot of people that maintain like the underbelly of society, the electrical grids, the plumbers, like all that stuff, they're dying out. Because like, what is it? I want to say the average age is like 50 something. We've demonized like, the trades and all this stuff, and we don't have enough people to replace them just to get to a decent number.
yeah,
That's all I had. I got to drop off. I appreciate
all
y'all.
right, yeah, we going into. I was just talking to Sub Zero and a brother named Javon. It was about AI. That was the show I did last night and everything. And yeah, we're going into a world where AI going to be doing everything. I mean, it's like people are going to be able, like, the whole family structure. Like, family is important, and I want to see, families. Like, I always talk about a lot of the stuff that we see, a lot of the discrepancies we see with black people between white people. Those discrepancies are nowhere near as much when you look at black people that come from 2-parent households versus those that don't. It's like, so yes, a 2-parent household that works, but it's still a brute fact of reality, in the fact that, one, they don't give a shit, and then two, the fact that yes, they can survive and function and get by just fine. you know they can survive, function, and get by just fine with their little job and make enough to get by in some air conditioned cubicle where they're not lifting nothing heavier than a stapler. Like, stuff like that. Stuff like that makes it to the point to where they technically don't need a man. So the whole man thing, it comes from just whether or not the culture is strong and prioritizes the whole idea, notion, and concept of family and function and doing what has shown to work. It's like, if that's not prioritized, and they just looking at what's in front of them, and what's in front of them is, hey, I got a job, I get a check, I make this much, I pay these bills, it's enough to get me from 1 month to the next, I can't see further than 5 feet in front of me, so I'm good. Like, that's how people are operating, and you can function, get by, and sustain like that. But the long-term outcomes that you got to actually damn near, either have to inception a culture of people with a different culture, or you got to actually sit down and explain to somebody. but that individual is still operating on their primal base instincts. They don't give a fuck. They're just going to do the basic shit that's getting them 1 month to the next and not seeing 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the future, the outcomes of kids, outcomes of grandkids. They ain't thinking like that. So it's almost like it got to be a huge cultural change and cultural overhaul to change the way people are thinking and the way people are operating. Otherwise, the just base function instinct of no, I can be single. I don't need no man. I don't need nobody. I can just do this. Yeah, that's how they're going to be operating, and the world is set up in a way to where they technically can if you're only seeing 5 feet in front of you. But all right, go ahead, OGJ Speed, and you got a screen share down there too.
Hey, Bernard, I do have to apologize to you because I did say the next time I come on your screen because somebody challenged me. My family, my 2 sons don't like to be visual, but my other 3, they like to be visual. That's what I'm sharing with my screen right now. And all these children are past 23 and 40, okay? That's my lovely daughter, Aaliyah, right there. That's my other son, Anton. I'm doing it by age. And that's my other son, Demetrius King. So, for the naysayers said, but these pictures have been up on my site many a times, and I just wanted to share that with you because someone else say, well, prove your point. I got
what point is this proven? I mean,
no, I'm just saying that's what the person said. Okay, I'm not saying what point is proven. I'm just saying that's what the person
said. So a random person in the chat room said you don't have.
No, it was somebody else's name I won't speak of.
Okay, what did they say about your kids?
It was in one of our discussions, and you got it up on a video, and anybody can go back and look at the video because you have it. You cut it up, and you put it up. Me and this person were, screaming at each other. So.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, got it. Okay, and that's the daughter. Okay, and that's the daughter that we said that you should, because both of y'all was bragging about how good y'all raise y'all kids. And I said that Lil Big Nate son and your daughter, y'all should like set them up. They should get together.
Well, I don't know about all that, but that's a good suggestion. I don't know about all that. Don't know about all that.
Lil Big Nate is raising.
Wait. Yeah,
hold on.
He did a good job.
I trust that you have. I trust that you have done a good job raising a very respectful, well-mannered daughter. And and I trust that Lil Big Nate has done an excellent job raising a strong, competent, productive, masculine young man. There's no reason why you shouldn't be willing to set your daughter up with Lil Big Nate's son. They're the same age. It's she's single. His son is single. Y'all should get together and do that. Yeah, and you and Lil Big Nate to be in-laws.
And she's a single, and she's never had a boyfriend because I didn't raise her to have boyfriends. I raised her to seek a husband.
Lil Big Nate's son is not even dating. He won't even date these women today because all of them is on some bullshit.
But the problem is gonna be the in-laws, bro. I don't want to bring that much July the 4th fireworks and 2 beautiful young people, and it won't be because of the 2 young people. It'll be because of the in-laws that can't get along. It'll be mutiny. It'll be a war.
No, you just don't want those short jeans in your bloodline. Just tell the truth.
There you go. Well, there you go. I didn't want to say that shit, but now you said it. And then now I can go ahead and no, I do not. I do not want any of my grandkids suing the city for making the sidewalk too close to their ass. You are correct. So let's just get that out of the way. I'm pretty sure Nate has done a great job.
Yes.
The understanding and seeing his son and the way he talked about his son, I'm pretty sure he did a great job. And I never take that away from him. It's the other shit we disagree with. We on the same track, but little Nate ain't never learned that we have more in common than we don't have in common. But anyway,
I think you do.
I'm gonna get on your ass this morning, Mr. Bernard, because you gaslighting some bullshit this morning. And you gaslighting some bullshit this morning.
Okay,
yesterday you went in on me about talking about women twerking and men going out there getting them kind of women, and then you make an example this morning about a fucking stripper who got her son should be arrested. That's number one. Her ass should be arrested, and that kid should be taken out of the house because she's an irresponsible parent. All right, that's number one. But see, this is what I was talking about yesterday. These guys, and I don't know if your thumbnail is authentic or correct with the guy who had the kid and 9 years later, but look at this guy. This is the kind of man we trying to protect. This motherfucker got tattoos all in his face. Oh, no. He got tattoos all in his face, so I already know what he was hunting down. And he got exactly what he deserved. So that's the way I look at stuff like that. He got exactly what he deserved. Anybody would take and put graffiti on their fucking face when they could put it on a piece of paper. He got exactly, we don't want this kind. Matter of fact, there's some other kids he should be goddamn supporting. So he could never have a damn bloodline, real bloodline, due to the fact that his irresponsible ass, what he did to his own body. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to see this guy at 12 o'clock in the night walking down the street. I don't give a fuck what you say. So again, you took something that I said yesterday, and you said, let me cut this phone on. You know I do run a business. But you took something I said and you say, oh, guys, God damn it, hey, guys, they only go out there and get strippers and 304s. And then you come today and do this example. And let me get on your ass about this fighting thing. This man had his hand on that damn woman way before he grabbed her wrist. And in any state, in America, if you put your hands on somebody, I don't care if you got it in their chest, their waist, or whatever. Y'all act like y'all was Stevie Wonder this morning. Y'all seen the grab of the wrist, but you didn't see this man from the total time y'all have that video on. He got his hand at the low. See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all talk shit about stuff, and you ain't never did no security work. You ain't never understand how to look at something and be objective about it. You can talk about the man grabbing a wrist, but you didn't talk about the man had his hand on him from the beginning. And wait.
All right, let me ask some questions. The only hands I saw he had on her is the hands on the wrist.
No, it was at the beginning of that video. This man had always had his hand on that woman.
And
on her wrist in America. No, this is way before the wrist, bro.
All right, I'll pull it back up.
This is what I'm saying. Y'all see what y'all see. This man is having his hand extended the total time.
Where was his hands, OG? Where was his hands, OG?
It might be on her waist, her belly, her titty, or whatever. I don't know where.
Okay, so he had her by the nipples, and then he grabbed her wrist. That's what you're saying?
Well, I don't know if he was trying to get milk or whatever he was trying to get. But what I'm telling you, in the state of America, if you put your hands on anybody, it's considered assault.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it back up. I'm gonna see.
Yes, sir. Please do.
I'm gonna see where he.
I was trying to warn you before you did that.
Nah, I don't need to be. Okay, go ahead.
And the guy was the one who was approaching her, as far as I seen it. And anytime you're approaching someone in a threatened manner and you put your hand on even softly, that is considered that's assault anywhere in America.
Yeah, I'm looking.
You see his arms already extended out. You don't see it where it's touching on her, but you see his arms already extended out.
It started, the video start, I've just looked at it. The video start with his hands on her wrist.
Well, you played something where it wasn't on her wrist first.
Really?
Okay, I'm going to get the video.
I'm pulling it. I'm pulling it right now. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
I'm just fucking up.
Anybody, wait a minute. Number one, if you had a concert, and somebody fell out in front of you, you should stop playing your music and stop for the concert.
Yeah, no, I don't knock her. I didn't knock that. That was fine. And I gave her benefit of the doubt. She probably didn't see it, but she had a good view. If she saw him hit her, then she probably saw her hit him.
And still,
but
even if she hit him, there should be some intervention where that could be for either person not to get hurt. Because think about it. Post some males who felt like I would have felt if I was there and somebody would have got hurt, bro. And that's what I'm saying is sometimes we have to look at things and be objective. How the situation evolved. What is the situation? You're there with security for that concert. And I'm saying I've been in too many clubs where I'm DJing at and we have security there and stuff like that. Yes. I think it should have been stopped. And if she hit him first, he has the right to defend himself. But I think any man who hits a woman with a closed fist is a fucking coward.
I should have. So what you're saying is he should have slapped the shit out of her.
If I would have took, I would have been more than welcome than that. Any man who hit a woman with a closed fist is a fucking coward if she don't have a weapon. Because you just have to think about that, bro. Come on, let's just think about that.
All right, I got the tape.
Just
right
think about
here.
if that was a kid, and a kid hit a person, and you hit him with a closed fist. I look at that in the same way. No, that's
all right. And I'm sorry. No, it's gonna come back.
Yes, sir.
All right. Start out with hands on wrist.
No. Go back again. He grabbed the wrist.
You can't rewind it.
No, he grabbed the wrist, bro.
Can't rewind. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. We're gonna see it. I can't even put sound on it because it's acting up.
Don't put sound on it. We don't need sound. We need vision. See, his hand is already standing out there before he grabbed the wrist, bro. Don't start this shit with me. Y'all ain't never did no security work.
He probably ain't never did security work either. All I know is the man got their hands.
Wait,
the guy in the video.
Stop. Hey, what you think the Nation of Islam do, bro?
No. I said he probably has never done security work.
No. I know he ain't did no security work.
Okay, then however
he would never. No, what I'm saying, he would. A person who was in security would have never struck a woman with a closed fist, bro.
Okay.
There's so many other things.
What I saw is a man holding a woman's arms, and the second that she got her arm free, she threw a punch. That tells me.
Wait a minute. In the first place, when a person is holding your arms, you trying to make something up for him. Like if he hadn't grabbed her arm, she would have. You didn't see the touch before.
That part, so I can see that.
As soon as he grabbed the wrist,
go ahead. I'll say this. We don't know what happened before he grabbed her wrist. It started with him having her wrist. I'll say that completely. But normally, anytime that I've grabbed somebody's wrist like that, they probably was trying to hit me.
You probably a more sensible person than this person. And to me, okay? I just got out of an incident. See, sometimes y'all don't know what OJ Speed be going through. All the things y'all talk about, bro. I just got out of an incident, assault on a Becky. She went to grab me, and I pushed her off of me. And she slipped, and she hurt her wrist. I've been going on with this case ever since my birthday last year. Don't talk about it, but it's over now. So I understand these things happening. I'm tired of you, not you, but your panel and your fucking chat room who say I'm still stuck in the fucking 50. Look, I got a daughter that's 23 years old. I live in the world that she lives in. That's why she can be the way she is. I got a son that's 49 who look like he's in his 20s. All them goddamn pictures you just seen, I taught my children how to eat right, care for themselves. They live in the same world that most of the guys that come in here, and they're in that same world. And so what I'm saying is, y'all need to stop, because I speak the way I speak, and I say the things I say it for a reason, because I know it works. And y'all go find out one day that the shit that y'all did and y'all approach and y'all strategy, you go find out it don't work. You know why you go find out it don't work? You have a great example of it right now. What the women didn't work.
Go ahead.
I got a woman
didn't work.
Way over town. That's good to me.
Okay, you can sing that song all you want to, and I hope you get your finger in your ass while you're singing it, okay? Because that ain't got nothing to do with me. Whoa, my ass. Whoa, my ass. Whoa, my ass. I like all these smart motherfuckers. I like all these smart. You seem like you might be getting turned. You seem like you might be getting turned on trying to talk to me this morning.
You know you talking to, OG. Ain't none of that.
Do you want to get on camera and
twerk a little bit? No, sir. Ain't no
it was a joke just like what you said. It was a joke just like you said. And you didn't like it. See how it works? You said, when you throw the first punch, did you listen to Bernard this morning? It's not what you...
OG, you were one of the writers. OG, you one of the writers now of the goddamn Man Law Handbook.
Hey, Bernard.
You that old.
Bernard, why do these people don't laugh? Why do these people don't learn when you go in on me? There's no holds bar, bro. You gotta be more funny than me.
We ain't doing no ass.
We ain't going in shit.
No. I'm saying is when you go in, look, when you go in, hey, when you go in on me, I'm gonna take your clothes off, bro, because I know you're supposed to be seeing that.
I'm out, man. I'm out. It's too much. I'm out, man.
Because I know y'all, bro. I know y'all both ashamed about taking your clothes off. I ain't ashamed about taking my clothes off. See, y'all ashamed about taking your clothes off. Maybe that's why the ladies are laughing at your ass when you take your clothes off. Maybe you ain't got enough to work with. I don't know what the fuck it is.
We about to pass it. All right, man. All right. gotta clear the palate. All right. So anyway, last thing I'll say about that. It is true. We don't know what happened before he grabbed her wrist. Everything I watched the tape. It started off with them doing a wrist scuffle, and he got her wrist. That's what happened. That's what happened. I don't know. He probably grabbed her wrist because he probably just wanted somebody who just like to grab a chick by the wrist and say, "I got your wrist, bitch," or he grabbed her wrist because she was trying to hit him. I don't know.
Okay, would you hit a woman with a woman? Let me ask you. All right. Then I want to ask you another question that I asked TP this morning. I don't know if he's on this morning. But,
yeah, that's TP. Okay.
Yeah. We've been talking all morning. I want to ask you the same
Lord.
question.
I'm sending my condolences to X for that. If you said he talked to you all morning, I'm really sorry, X, you went through that. I don't know why you put yourself through that. But
he actually got me through my drive. I was talking to him. I had went to pick up a piece of equipment in South Carolina, and I was talking to the OG on the way back, on the highway. So he got me through the drive. So
all right.
See how it works, Bernard? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. All right, and no homo. Pause. But anyway,
all right, what's the question you wanted to ask me before I pass? I do got to move it.
I'm gonna ask you the same question so we can move this along. Okay? I asked Brother X, if you had a son who had a kid that was 9 years old and he's been in that kid's life and they was married, if your son found out that child was not his and he was willing to stay in a relationship with X, would he disassociate himself with that relationship with that child? X said he would take him out of the will, and I said, suppose your son adopted him, and he said, well, that had to be he take the moves from whatever his son would do. So I'm gonna ask you the same question: if you had a son and he had been married and his kid was 9 years old, and you found out that your son child was not his, would you cut off the relationship?
In that exact situation, I kind of agree with Exit. I would likely just go with whatever, like that's my son's situation in that sense. Because at that point, if my son got a 9-year-old, that means he's at least in his early 30s. Hopefully, he at least he got a 9-year-old. He at least 30. So he a grown ass man that can make his own decisions. So I wouldn't take a strong stance on, I'll follow his lead on that one. That's his choice to do what he want to do. But I do feel what X saying about that damn will. I do. I'm pretty much with him on that. So yeah.
No, I asked y'all the question because I think there's a question inside of that question. Mm-hmm. That grandson is not his, has established a relationship with you as the grandfather. Regardless of what the son do, I'm asking you, how would you feel towards the relationship you have built with your grandchild that you thought was your grandchild? I understand you have to take the lead of your son, but I'm asking you about the relationship you and that child have.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question, but at the end of the day, we're in that situation where you got to appeal to our emotions and what tugs at our heartstrings, and in the wake of a chick that basically defrauded a man. It's like, but what about the kids? I mean, yeah, there's feelings and there's emotions.
Okay, let me
there.
get some background.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
Okay,
the feelings and the emotions could in the time built with a child, with a human being who is not the child's fault, that could possibly overtake you. But it is a perfectly acceptable position for the father in that case and the grandfather in that case to have ice water in their veins and be like, man, fuck it, because taking care of it, especially, it's like it's a whole situation where this woman defrauded you. Your connection to her, I want you
to stop before you get to that premise. I want you to stop on that. Okay, stop on that premise because I need to give you a little background on this. They broke up. They broke up because he cheated. All right, and yeah, they broke up because he cheated. They were separated for a little while. And for some reason or another, she wanted to get back at him, so she slept with this guy one time to make herself feel good or whatever she was thinking in her corrupt mind. They got back together, and it wasn't that she was trying to defraud him. It's just that's the situation. So before you go into this path of defrauding him, he already know that she had sex with someone else due to the fact that it all started with him as being cheating on her. And they separated. She separated herself from him, and they were separated for a little while. And for whatever reason, she felt like she needed to get even, and she had sex with this guy one time, no emotion, no nothing, just to make herself feel better about her situation. And that is the story.
All right. So if you're saying that she got pregnant by this other man while they were briefly not together. And if you're telling me that, see, this is where it gets real shaky, and we got to play dumb and pretend like a woman don't know who she got pregnant by. But if you're telling me that they got back together and then she turned up pregnant, and she somehow didn't know it was by the other dude, but the two of them just moved forward as a family, it's like, no, it's still an element of fraud there, because I can't buy that. I put it like this. She was supposed to come clean and be like, hey, when we were separated during this breakup, I did have sex with somebody else. It's a possibility. I mean,
that's the story.
That's the story. But she made it. She made a point not to do that. She made a point to just keep it zipped on that.
No, she told. I mean, in this story, she told.
Oh, she told that she did have sex with somebody else?
She told. Yeah, she told that she had sex with somebody. Wait a minute. I'm gonna show you something right now.
Well, she told him that's different. You made it
okay. Yeah, but that's what's the story. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove something to you.
But
right
she just
now.
told him she no, that don't change nothing if she told him.
Okay,
she had
but
sex
let me
with
say
else.
this. Let me say this. I'm trying to prove something to you right now. I don't want nobody to do no goddamn Googling. I want all the males in the chat room right now. Tell me how many days do a woman ovulate to get pregnant? Put it in there right now. Don't Google the goddamn shit.
I want to say it's like,
no. I'm asking all the guys. Don't try to help them out. Don't put the gate on. So I'm gonna show you how these guys, when you say stuff like that she knows, and she has 7 or 8 days in a span when she can get pregnant. And some women, believe it or not, some women have period twice a month. Some women don't have period, and it comes on different times. So y'all got to understand this.
You refuted your own argument.
No, I didn't.
Hold on, let me tell you why. If the time that she's ovulating is such a small window, and that's literally why I said she know who she got pregnant by.
No,
because it was
and the
in a
reason
small
I
window.
said that to the men, because a lot of women don't know when they're ovulating. They usually go to the doctor. No, I'm telling you the truth, bro. I'm telling you, don't want to believe this shit, but there's a lot of look, man. It's a lot of women out there that don't even know how to wash their ass properly, much less know when they ovulate. So let's just be honest about this shit. And some of you guys have ran into them women who don't know how to wash their ass properly. And so let's just stop the bullshit. Like everybody went to a gynecologist and they got an education on about their body. They don't teach this shit in school. They teach motherfuckers how to put on dresses and high heels. They don't teach about health anymore in school.
All right, OG, I be legit trying to meet you halfway, and so it is a legitimate situation where it's hard for me to say a woman don't know who she got pregnant by. It's hard for me to say, if she came to him and said, "Hey, I did have sex during this time period," and they got back together and there's a baby, and he didn't ever check, but she threw it out there that so it's almost like a part of it is, he was. I mean, I don't like to just call men dumb because some men they don't know better. But
do you know a woman can come on her period while she's pregnant? Do you know a woman can come on her period while she's pregnant?
No, hold on. It was dumb of him to know that she was having sex during their breakup, and then they get back together, and had to be shortly after they're back together. Oh, I'm pregnant. To not immediately think that she could be pregnant by somebody else, because I know she's thinking that, but for him to not think that. So it's like he walked down that stupid path to find out later. This is what
I said yesterday. You're making my point.
No, I'm not.
You're really making my point. It's the choices. Y'all act as if men don't have choices.
He got choices, but she still.
And you keep saying she. You know what? Wait a minute. If a woman's fucked up, she's fucked up, bro. And what I'm trying to say is, it comes down to males' choices.
Mm-hmm. May I?
Mm-hmm. That's the guy with the good-looking picture with the brothers. Hey, good to see you again.
That's the reason.
Very respectful yesterday.
That's the reason we do content in these spaces talking about fraternity fraud, talking about men. Get that shit checked at birth. Find out. Make sure I don't care how much he looked like you. So yes, we deal with the male choice in the matter. We deal with that. But so I mean, I don't know.
Some topics I don't hear y'all. Some topics I don't hear y'all give enough responsibility to the guy for the choices he make. And that's where I have a problem.
You just want us to
I can call bullshit. No.
No.
I can call bullshit. I can call a bad woman when she's a bad woman. I can say that. That helped me with my choices. What I'm saying is, after you find out she's a bad woman, or you pursued her, knew she was a bad woman, and that's why I made the example yesterday. If that woman slept with you the first night, don't think you some honeycomb, curly-haired elder brother who you just swallow out of her pussy, because she was doing it with somebody else the same way she did it. Yeah, you're making yourself special. Go ahead.
OG.
That's the easy part. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so I'm not popping in the space like that, but I would love a hashtag Man Bun Mike was right. But look, the problem is that a lot of these guys don't know. Like it took him 9 years to even come upon the idea of taking a paternity test. It's because a lot of guys just, as much as it's common sense, they just don't know. Even though she went and she cheated, and just to differentiate him cheating from her cheating, she had a baby in her cheating. So that's much different. The cheating is,
I understand that part.
Oh, let him.
And even if, let's say, he had a baby in his cheating, they would know that it was his baby. Because
wait a minute. A lot of women find out 9 years later, bro. It's 5 years later when the baby mama shows at the door.
I understand.
He got a baby. Sometimes it's about a revenge. Don't want to have she don't want him to have a girlfriend. Come on, man. Y'all stop taking these straw man arguments and trying to make him bullshit.
That's what I was saying. I'm saying that the woman would know, the mother would know that it wasn't hers because it didn't come out of her. So there's no defrauding the woman.
How would it?
Right. So there's no defrauding the woman.
Their pussy's not connected. How would it? Why do you even bring that up? That's what I'm saying. That's a stupid argument.
No. What I'm saying, OG, is that there's no such thing as maternity fraud. So that those two things, her cheating back, because you were trying to make the argument that she was cheating back and it only happened one time, which I doubt if it just happened one time, and the idea that she didn't say that I had unprotected sex with this guy and it's a possibility that it might not be yours is fraud in and of itself. But brother, these conversations,
the only way something. Wait a minute. Stop right there. You keep using this goddamn word, fraud. Fraud can only be with the intent. You got to use the word in the right content. The only way you can use word of fraud is it has to be the intent to fraud. If a person don't know, it's not intent.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done. You just sit back and let me land this goddamn chopper right.
Well, okay,
ahead.
no. You're done. It's cool. Fraud would suggest that she knew it was a possibility. That's it.
You had to have
She just has to know it's a possibility. If she doesn't say
that's not no,
sir.
No law would get no law in black law. Look up any law in black law right now and see
all right,
you have possibility.
we gonna pin it down into semantics of whether or not she frauded him, whether or not she technically frauded him. I don't even want to pin it down on that. If the situation happened the way that you described, they broke up for a little bit. She had some sex while they were broke up for a little bit, and they broke up. It don't even matter that they broke up because he cheated. They went together. I guess she's free to fuck somebody else. Okay, she had some sex. She had some
and
sex.
Some of you thirsty ass guys would have fucked her. Go ahead.
Yeah, she had some sex. Had to be some raw sex with somebody while they weren't together. They got back together. It would have had to been 1 week into them getting back together. She said, "Ooh, I'm pregnant." At that instance, she knows it is a strong chance that the guy she had sex with before they got back together is the actual daddy. But this man loves her, so she's going to be with him and not even, and just let that shit roll out. Now it goes back. This is what Mike was saying. He was right about. Men are dumb and don't be knowing, and they just accept woman's word. That's what this space is about, showing that women lie and don't believe all women. And I did a show today basically explaining the many ways in which they lie and how the woman on that show, that Lonnie Love woman, was literally advocating through and through that paternity test should not be mandatory. And then she copped a plea and said, okay, but it can't be mandatory for a married woman because you don't want to.
Are you talking about the comedian Lonnie Love?
No, I'm use her as an example, and I use I'm talking about no. I'm talking about the video that I played and everything else that I talked about today. It is through and through across the board. We could even pull out all the data that look. They don't. The women across the board want to reserve the right to be able to pin the baby on the man who they think will be best fit to be the father, and that's
they pregnant in a week. Bernard, that was your premise. You started off with that premise.
No woman. That ain't what I said. That ain't. No.
What you said.
No. I didn't say it in the way that you said it. When I said that, I'm assuming within a week of being back with the man, she would have had to say, "Hey, I'm pregnant." Because I'm assuming she got pregnant. Let's say 2 weeks ago from the other guy. So if she get back with the guy and she get and let's just say 2 weeks later she find out that she's pregnant, it's very possible that she could think she 2 weeks pregnant versus 4 weeks pregnant. She can't know, but eventually when they went there and they got a due date, she knew who the goddamn daddy was.
Okay, I'm glad you made an emphasis on that last goddamn word, but I have never, ever heard somebody say they was 2 weeks pregnant or 3 weeks pregnant. I don't know where you get your information. Wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Exactly, but I know. But let me finish. Hold on, wait, real quick. No, because that makes my point that she would have had to get pregnant long before they got back together, which means she knew.
No. It's more like improving my point, brother. Because when you understand the test of pregnancy, you would have never said a week or 2 weeks. And you're forgetting about another thing too.
I was shortening it up. I shortened it up to give the benefit of the doubt to help her argument.
There's certain percent of the women do come on their menstruation even when they are pregnant.
Why does that even
don't got nothing to do with
she knew last month.
Anomalies.
You didn't tell them.
Not as much as you think it is.
If you have to argue for an anomaly, you've lost the argument.
No. You are saying things. Wait. You think it's anomaly. but it's not. A lot of women do come on the administration when they're pregnant, bro. And see, this is what I'm saying.
They administration.
Before y'all start, yeah. Well, okay, but now you know I at least gotta fuck up a word or two on one show. It wouldn't be me if I didn't. But nah, let's just be honest, bro.
Administration.
Sometimes, I'm just be honest with you, bro. And you know I like you because I call you and tell you sometimes I like you. But sometimes, some of these discussions. Oh, pause. Okay, I understand. You can't say this kind of. You see, this is how sensitive y'all ass is. But anyway, sometimes these conversations is way beyond y'all pay grade, and you shouldn't be having them. Or you should have people like me or other experts on here to carry the conversation smoothly. Now I know I stink up the room a lot. Only reason I stink up your room a lot is due to the fact I give you pushback, and you enjoy that. And I know, but you know, a lot of people don't. But y'all gonna need this kind of pushback because this kind of pushback makes you think. It makes you think of everything from one thing to another without being one-dimensional. And a lot of these conversations do go in one-dimensional.
It make me think about kicking your ass off the show. That's what the hell it make me think about.
You ain't never cake for me. I already understand.
All right, we gonna pass it. We gonna pass. Wise Willett. Hold on. Wise Willett ain't said nothing. You know, we got to get to.
No, I thought we gonna get TP, brother.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to be patient, so I know I keep changing my name. I use Wise Will because that's what I used to comment on her. I'm actually Will's wardrobe now. But I was saying, I know we talk about men saying "f them kids" all the time, but I feel like Lonely Love saying "f them kids." Basically, she's saying it don't matter who the dad is. Anytime you go to the doctor or get an eye exam, they always ask you, do you have a history of, diabetes in your family or history of hypertension? So for the kids to not know their correct biological father, she's basically putting them at a disadvantage. I hate that the only black woman on the panel was the only one giving pushback against that. Also, this almost sounds like that village wife concept BGS talks about, where the village wife in those type of cultures, it doesn't matter who the biological father is because every man in that village is responsible for raising the kids. So I feel like a lot of black women still operating on that. And then
we call him Uncle Sam. We call him Uncle Sam, brother. We call him Uncle Sam.
Okay. And then how long have we been hearing the term mama's baby, daddy's maybe?
Oh, we've been hearing that for so long.
Yeah, so a lot of guys kind of know what it is. I think most guys, ignorance is bliss. They just kind of accept it. But I think now men are starting to.
You can't get that concept. Wait a minute. You can't get that concept without one thing happen. And you know what? Some extracurricular dick has to be going up in that pussy other than yours.
Okay.
So here it is. Y'all always talking about women power. Y'all always talking about sisterhood. When we gonna start really having brotherhood? Well, we're not doing bullshit like that.
Well, I think that's the point of the paternity test.
I don't think nobody is advocating for impregnating somebody else's wife or girlfriend. But the dudes that do shit like that at a frequent rate, I do call them serial impregnators. Like I do have slanderous, insulting words to call them. Like they are a problem if you just going around just nutting in chicks. Yeah, you are a problem if you're doing that. So like we get that part. Like that guy don't come over here and get high five. Like you high five. You did the damn thing. You nutted in all them bitches. Right on.
Yeah,
no,
but
we clown
y'all
people.
should
We clown people that do that.
Y'all should never be listening to that heifer, Lonnie Love. Used to be a friend
I don't be
of mine.
listening to. I don't be listening.
I'm just saying,
to
she
her.
used to be a personal friend of mine, and she left out of my house many a time, me screaming and hollering at her, way before she became famous. So what I'm trying to say is, Bernard,
that's both of y'all screaming and hollering at the same time, and sweating, and bouncing up and down.
You know she's a big girl, so she can't scream too long. She get winded. So what I'm saying is, she used to date my cousin, bro. She used to. No, I never would hit my my cousin's girl, bro. But I told her what her career would be like. I told her what her first film would be like way before she ever got famous. I told her they would have her big ass dancing around, bucking her eyes, and acting like a fucking person on a fucking pancake box. And she got mad and she stormed out the house so fast that she forgot her fucking keys and couldn't start up her car. Now I have told this over and over on TP. He knows this story. And so anyway, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Look, I can talk about fuckery on girls' end, but my thing is to educate guys to choose better, stop chasing the competition and chase the dream. Because that's what y'all been doing. Y'all been looking at these thoughts and chasing these thoughts, the competition, and not chasing a dream woman. A woman who's going to raise your kids, who's going to listen to you, follow your lead, and give you nothing but peace in your house. And y'all act as if it's not out there. But y'all are lying because y'all are shopping in the wrong fucking store. And then when you get bad product, then you want to talk about the fucking store. You should have talked about the store before you shopped in it.
Okay. I mean, it's a lot of bullshit smuggled into there, because if
you won't never say I'm right about that, will you, Badar?
No, like Freeman's Journal was saying, speak for yourself. That there's maybe a point with that. Like most men, you know, you talking about IG thoughts that guys are chasing, like dudes who actually fucking IG thoughts. Like you talking about a small percentage of men who got it like that, where they like most men ain't just sitting around saying, man, I got so much Instagram baddie pussy just being thrown at me, I don't even know what to do. I have to humble myself to turn down all this pussy from IG baddies. Like those aren't normal guys.
A thought can be ass and titties, bro. It don't have to be even face. It could be butterface. Right. I mean, so what I'm saying is a thought to that person because they're trying to get between her legs.
The stuff that we talk about and address here are typically not those problems that come from, man, I fucked up and knocked up this bad bitch that was twerking in the club. Oh my goodness, what I'm gonna do? It's like that's not even the conversation over here. That's the conversation you use. That's a conversation that somebody need to hear. That's a conversation.
But you're using them examples.
What do you mean I'm using that example? Because
you are using them as examples. You using stars. You using personalities. You're using a lot of people.
Yeah, I use trending,
but you can't use them.
I use trending stories as a backdrop to talk about something else when I normally do dive into the intricate details in the data and relate it back to normal people. So I don't just think that we don't live our life based on celebrities. Like you're misrepresenting the conversation when you start making it seem like all we do.
Have you ever had a Nielsen box in your house?
What is a Nielsen box?
A Nielsen box to give people ratings of what's been looked at in rating season. Have you ever had a Nielsen box?
No, and I'm about to.
Okay, the reason why I say that, but the reason why I say that, a lot of these statistics and things that you say that are actual facts. There are actual facts in small sample size. And this is the problem I have. Think about what I'm finna say right now, and I'm gonna leave this conversation. I'm gonna leave your pound.
You don't want nobody to say nothing about nothing. That's what everything amounts to.
Let me get this in.
Don't talk about the stats. You can't use the stats because the stats ain't right. You can't use a trending story because that's just a trending story. Well, that's just an isolated incident. Okay, I used the stats. What was the sample size? Well, the sample size didn't cover the whole damn earth. So it's like you're just bending over backwards and all the reasons why we can't say anything.
I'm saying you just got to live, brother, and open your eyes, open your ears. That's what I'm saying. But listen to this. If I did a stat right now and I said, what is the percentage of white people that don't like black people? And I go to a Klan rally and get that fucking sample size. What you think that percentage is going to be?
Obviously, the percentage will be high.
Okay, now if I take that and put it into if I take that and put it into the mainstream, what you think that percentage is gonna be?
Obviously,
lower, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm saying that a lot of these things, these studies y'all reading, when you don't read them from in to out and understand what the plus and minus, where it comes from.
Do.
Okay. So when
yes, we do.
No, you didn't. I'm gonna tell you why you didn't. Y'all been passing along this bullshit, not you, because you don't have this conversation offline. 80% of the black women in the black community.
Man, we already talked about that. But
I throw that shit in your face, and then you don't want me to throw it in your face because you know you have been Not you.
We
as
do.
you.
I've seen men in this
Misleading.
space do a better job than anybody.
25% of 25. You're talking about 25% of the people, and when you're talking about 25%, you're saying 80% of the 25%. You're not saying 80% of the 100%. No, they don't know that.
We know that better than most spaces. Even on the news, they be fucking up that stat, and they say 80% of women, black women, got children out of wedlock, but it's 80% of children or 70% of children, 70% of black children are born out of wedlock. We understand that, and we say it right all the time, and we correct people when they say it wrong. I'm moving.
It's 70% of the 25%, but not because you know what? 35% of all black women do have two-parent households. 40% don't even have children. So that only leaves you 25%, bro. I don't did the numbers now. I made a fool out of myself when we first started this shit, but now I am the genius on this shit. I see how y'all been twisting the goddamn numbers.
We gonna revisit that. I'm gonna have to do a whole show. I might even get Mike with me on that one, on how many black women got kids versus how many black men got kids and all the percentages, so we can just get official on that one once again.
Thank you.
But we just gonna have to get official on that once again. But we about to
for the day.
We about to get. All right. Go ahead. Wise will it? No, we going to X. We already went to Wise.
Yeah,
go ahead, X. You got it. Go ahead, X. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, always, man. Peace, Brother Bernard. You know, I like to sit here and listen, especially when the OG is up here, because I know it's going to be quite interesting. But but me and the OG talked about this earlier this morning when I was coming back from South Carolina. And, you know, to me, all right, I'm just speaking about me, it's the equivalent of a kidnapping, right? And I'll tell you why. Maybe y'all remember this name, Camilla Mobley, right? Camilla Mobley was stolen from a hospital when she was an infant and raised by another woman. And then they found out that woman was not really her mother. She had lied for like 2 decades. And they eventually arrested this woman for kidnapping. So in a sense, it's the same thing, right? Because technically, this woman has taken that kid from the real father for all these years, right? So there is some symbiosis there. There is some degree of simpatico there, because what you've done is you've taken this child and had this child raised by someone who is not their father, but made it seem or appear like it was their father. So when the father finds out, or should I say the fake father finds out, where does that leave the real father? Especially if you never told the real father about the child. So it is similar, right? It's similar to a kidnapping in a sense. And I told OG, I said, well, if one of my sons had a kid and come to find out 8, 9, 10 years later, the kid isn't his, I mean, number one, the kid is out of my damn will. Yeah, he's gone out of there. But as far as my son, if my son is still taken up with this kid, I would go ahead and just deal with it. I would follow my son's lead on that, because ultimately it's my son's decision, not mine. But on the other side of that, like this story, this dude finds out that this 9, 10-year-old kid is not his. And now he says, okay, fine. This ain't my kid. The other kids is mine. I'm going to go ahead and just deal with my other 2 kids. Now, I know people will say, oh, man, that's wrong. You know, it's a kid. The kid shouldn't be punished, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is this. You are not punishing the child. The mother punished the child when she did what she did. So I say, leave it up to her. Let her explain why the kid can no longer come to your house every summer. Let her explain why the kid is not getting the Jordans, the PlayStation, and the school clothes and the bikes. Let her explain it. Because, see, when these type of things happen, I don't know what y'all think, but it's the hoe's fault. She did it. So leave her. Don't you explain it. When you come to pick up your other kids, don't you explain nothing to that child. You pick your babies up and zoom on down the road. When that kid asks her, why daddy don't let me go no more, leave her on the hook to explain it. Leave her on the hook to answer the questions of that child, because it's because of her that this is like this. It's not because of you. You were under the impression that the kid was yours. So you were doing what you were supposed to do as far as the kid is concerned. But now that the truth has come to light, guess what? Let her unravel her own lies. Let her do it. Let her do it. Because she's the
whose fault?
Let her do it. That's what I say. Let her sit there and say, well, I screwed somebody else, and he's really your father. Therefore, this guy that comes and picks up your other two brothers, he's not your father. Therefore, you will no longer be going to his house. He will no longer be taking you to the carnival. He will no longer be buying you school clothes, sneakers, bikes, skateboards, or PlayStations. Leave her out to dry. That's what I say.
I concur. Good stuff.
I would never concur.
What the fuck was that? That was weird. All right, we're going to Mike. Going to Mike. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Yeah. Just to go back a little bit. The situation with Monica and the lady and the man.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I heard her in the beginning say, "Now, sis, don't hit him like that."
Oh shit!
I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. Now, I could be wrong because I'm not always right. I'm usually right, but I'm not always right. I'm pretty sure I heard her say in the beginning, "Now, sis, don't hit him like that."
Yeah, I'm going digging. We're gonna pull it back up, and I'm gonna give that a good second listen.
I'm pretty sure
while
you are. But that has nothing to do with the story. That has nothing to do with the story, bro. Even if she says sis don't hit him. If he got his hands on him.
My God.
Go ahead now. You're the one trying to make this straw man argument.
Do you know what a straw man argument? You gotta stop using words you don't know the definition of.
Wait. The bullshit you trying to say right about it is Negro thesis. That's what a straw man argument is. Negro thesis.
Right.
Now you take that any way you want to take it.
All right, OG, you got it, baby. You got it. What I'm saying is that Monica
Paul,
jumping in.
Baby, you said baby, Paul, bro, Paul.
I'm from Detroit. We say baby all day. I'm from Detroit. That's what we do. That's what we do.
I can't take off my shirt. You can't be calling me baby.
Well, take off your shirt. It's not a colloquialism, is it? It means take off your shirt.
Whatever. Just because you say big words don't mean you saying shit. I'm telling you, don't call me baby. Something wrong with that.
You got it, sir. No problem.
I was trying to listen to that, which I don't even know what just happened because I was trying to listen to the audio of the situation. You may be incorrect on that one, Mike, but I don't know what the hell.
I could be wrong. I think when she was singing, and then she was looking down at the crowd, and then when she was looking down at the crowd, she said, "Oh," and then she said, "Come on now, sis." And that's at least what I thought I heard. But
you got a bridge you want to sell me on Mars too?
No, I look, me being wrong is possible. All right.
I do have a question, OG, because I'm just curious because I just sitting and listening to what you're saying.
Oh, my friend, SKC.
Yeah,
I got you confused yesterday. I got you confused. You wasn't here, but the guy sounded almost like you.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't here. But
get it in.
Would there be any situation where a woman got pregnant by another man where she would be completely in the wrong?
Hell yeah. I have never said she was never in the wrong. The problem is, it's like we hear where she's in the wrong, but we don't hear where we can educate guys from making the wrong decision.
That's what we're doing now.
Bullshit.
Doing.
That's what
Well,
this
I mean, he
whole
asked me.
thing
Wait.
is
He asked me the
doing.
question, but no. So you always caping for that side of the street, like I cape
Because
for
that's
the
the
middle.
side of the street I'm standing on. That's the side of the street I'm standing.
I stand on truth.
You
wherever it come from, y'all stand on this brotherhood bullshit is gonna lead y'all to hell. And I'm saying, if you stand on truth, if you stand on truth.
So OG, not to get in the because I know y'all going back and forth, but I'm just wondering,
thank you,
would there ever be a situation where that you could think of where you would say, okay, the man just got completely screwed over in this situation. He didn't do nothing wrong. Like, have you ever known any situations like that?
I see it all the time in the courtroom, and I'm whispering in these brothers' ears, or even having lawyers saying, you know what? You need better representation in that fucking courtroom. Your lawyers do not have the correct strategy. Now, that's even against the law for me to even say that. But I'm choosing to put myself in that square where I'm helping brothers out. So yes,
I got
to
another,
your question.
I got another question for you, OG. Are you for mandatory paternity tests?
Most certainly.
Okay. I have a question that I asked, and I posed this question before. Let's assume, because I know, Bernard, you don't want to assume that 30% to be correct. But I'm of the assumption that the 30% is a low number. I just believe it to be a low number. Call me, whatever. But let's assume that 30% is 30%. And that's of the paternity tests that are taken. Do you think that if we had mandatory paternity tests, and this is just a B or C answer, do you think that if we get mandatory paternity tests, that 30% would go higher, go lower, or stay at 30%?
Just before you answer that, Bernard, we got one of them funny people in your chat room talking about my voice is lowering his goddamn terrestrial or whatever he's trying to say. But anyway, bro, if my vibration of my voice is making you more feminine, you got some other problems.
You talking about me?
Nah, you talking about Patriarch Turner or something like that. But all right, Mike, was that question to me?
That question was to anybody, but mainly OG. Mainly OG.
All right.
If 30% is the number, and we did mandatory paternity tests across the board, do you think that in America that number goes higher than 30%, lower than 30%, or it stays at around about 30%?
Well, let me answer it real quick. I think that 30% might be close to accurate. I mean, it sounds high to me, just to keep it real, but it might be close to accurate. But here's the thing: when I say, it's not that I don't want to believe it's true. When I look at the evidence, it's not. We don't have a strong number based off strong evidence. Put it like that, because in that 30%, those were people that suspected something. So they decided to do it. It's not like they did a proper study on a random sample. Like they just literally just took 5,000 women at random who were pregnant, and they have a named father who is the father who's taking care of the kid in one way or another, and then check to see how many of those fathers are the actual father. We haven't exactly done that yet. So that's why I'm saying we don't got a solid number.
I got you. Let's go down this logic train then. Keep that other question in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that a paternity test, a mandatory paternity test, do you think that that's a hard thing to mandate?
Hell no. Very easy.
Okay. So this is my question. Why would you think that they wouldn't just mandate it and then move on? Not to say they wouldn't go through the proper channels, of course. They have to, vote it in, do whatever they have to do. But why do you think that that's not a thing then?
Because hold on real quick, let me answer. When I did the show on it, basically everything that I looked up, and that was one of the shows where I really spent a lot of time researching before the show.
Good
and
job on that.
I hate to use the word they, but they don't want to do it. It's like that.
Wait.
If you can, hold on, OG,
let me answer that question, bro. Let me answer that question first before you move on.
I get it. You're not. I got my question is still there on the table. There's a pin in it.
You got two questions.
I do. Hold on though. Why do you think
for anybody? So why you not letting me answer?
Bernard,
He going down a path. He is going down a path. But
Bernard, he said it was for anybody to answer, and the only person gave his summation was you.
He haven't got to his main question yet. Those are just preliminary.
But he asked you one by one.
OG, I'm letting Mike finish his whole process.
Okay, go
ahead. Thank you. So Bernard, if you think that it's easy, you think that they don't want to do it. Do you think that they have a legitimate reason as to why they don't want to do it? If you can guess the reason why they don't want to do it, why do you think that they don't want to do it?
Because it would be it would be the results would be damning, and a lot of women would be exposed as using that word that OG didn't like, frauding men. All to it.
Okay. So then that's what makes me believe that the number is higher than 30%, because I think that on some level, everybody has given some kind of DNA or some kind of blood work or whatever to where they probably know. They probably know that number is higher than the 30%. And they're looking at us. They're looking at the fact that there's a study that goes to 30%, saying that, oh, snap. If they knew that it was higher than this, they're upset at a 30% number.
Something happened.
No, we can hear you interrupting.
Yeah. They are probably aware that the number is probably higher than 30%. And they would rather us be upset at that hypothetical 30% than to be really, really upset with a solid number of 45 or whatever it may be. That's what I think. Now, OG, I'm going to reiterate the question for you. If we did mandatory paternity tests, the number's at 30% right now. Do you think that number goes above? My goodness, OG. OG, he has the attention.
If he can hear us.
Don't cut me off. Bernard, don't cut me off. Bernard, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay, he can't hear us. Okay,
that works. But for anybody, do you think if 30% is the number, do you think if we did mandatory paternity tests that the number goes over 30%, lower than 30%, or it stays at around about 30%? Anybody?
Go ahead.
Anybody? I think it would probably stay around the same. But then if the tests are mandatory and women who get knocked up and, they eventually go into labor and have the baby see this coming, I think it would be harder for them to say, well, this your baby, when really it's not. So, you'd be out in front of it. It would get out in front of it to a degree.
I think that what you're doing is that you're not thinking about the babies that are already here. The kids that are already here, because it's kids that are already here.
The ones that are already here to probably leap up to like 60 to 70%. But I'm talking about the ones who, the people who are going, these chicks that are going into labor and they do a DNA test as soon as the baby come out. They see that coming. So I think you would get out in front of it to a degree.
I'm saying the kids that are already here.
I understand what you're saying, Mike. And be honest with you on this, I like to go with you on that one. But I just don't think that we have enough information. And if we would cross-reference it with other situations that we do know of, let's say, like when you have people that get injured and they have to go to surgeries and stuff. It seemed like there would be more instances of people not being able to have certain surgical procedures where they need like things from family members or relatives or so forth, because they would be incompatible, and then they find out that oh crap, I'm not even a part of this family. That type of stuff. I think there will
Yeah,
be a few more instances of that to
yeah.
substantiate that claim. But I mean, like I have a feeling to move towards what you're saying, but I just don't think we have enough information to substantiate the claim.
I'm not saying that we need information to substantiate the claim. I think the mere fact that they're not putting that on a ballot, they're not pushing it. Anytime that it comes up, you get the Lonnie Loves of the world. I think the mere fact that they are trying to not have this thing happen is proof enough for me. It's like with the pandemic in the stab, the jab. It's like there's certain things that are not about medical. It's not medical. It's political, so that it
Yeah.
supersedes the science of it. This, I
Well,
think, is more political than it is medical. I don't think
But
this
why?
is medical.
But
well, it
why do you
is.
think that
It
is?
seems actually getting
The
close
only
to
part
passing that.
the
Why
only
do you
part I
think that
argue
is
with that
though?
one, the only part I'll argue with that on with you on Mike is I don't think that it's so much that it's political, that I think that when you look at the government understanding that they can make a lot of money off of the dysfunction of other people,
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that
So,
puts
And
more
and
of the
also
emphasis on
but
you don't really need
but
to
so
know type of thing.
right.
and
So let me correct myself when I said political. I just mean not medical.
yeah, but also what we've seen, right, over the past 40, 50, 60 years is number one, the legacy and lineage of a black man is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, okay, whether or not the kid is yours or not. What matters is whether or not you're going to take care of it, is what they're saying. It does not matter if the kid is yours, you should still take care of it. Why do you think you have all these women nowadays who have went out, slept with all these dudes, they got 2 and 3 baby daddies, and now they're looking for someone else to take care of them? They're never talking about the
Stepdaddy
dude.
season.
Yeah, they're not talking about the dudes who they laid down with taking care of them. Like I always say when it comes to these old mamas, they want everybody responsible for these kids except the people they laid down with to have them. They want the schools, they want the cops, they want the criminal justice system, they want the white power structure, they want you, they want me, they want everybody else to look after these kids, but you never hear them say,
King,
you never hear them say they want the people who they laid down with to take care of them. Just look at that.
do you know that King Randall just recently, it's on Twitter on his page. I think it was just yesterday where he posted a clip of himself saying every black man should be responsible for 2 kids that are not theirs. I repeat,
He said what?
King Randall said every black man should be responsible for at least 2 kids, 2 boys that are
Somebody send
not
me this clip.
his. Dude,
Somebody send me that clip.
I think I'm pretty sure I tagged Hood in it. I'm pretty sure I tagged Hood. And he said you should be able to do 2 because I'm doing 20 and it's just me, so you should be able to do 2. Nigga, I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it.
Hey, but
that's why
that mentality that he has, that thought process, it permeates through all the different levels, the court system, the DNA, and when they looking at, like, I'm being quiet for a while. I'm trying to find this a particular study where, like, they were talking about how they find out in the hospital a lot that the kid does not belong to the man who thinks is his kid, but they don't want to say something. They don't want to say anything because they're like, we're not going to deprive this kid of a caring father. And like that literally what was said. Like they're hold on. I want to make it clear. This is the hospital staff. These are random women who happen to be nurses or whatever other title they got, that be in the room, that be knowing what's going on, that Yeah, they don't want to put it out there. They don't.
Well, yeah, because suppose the man
because
start
it
wilding out
doesn't
in
matter.
Let
It
him go.
doesn't.
Hold on, wait. Let me let Will Wardrobe was saying. Go ahead.
No, I'm
You got
saying,
it.
I mean, how much security you gonna need if a man? Because imagine a man find out in the hospital his child ain't his. That mama,
Exactly.
he might get on the spot. You remember that the man you said cut the woman's head off? It might turn into this. I think it's safer for everybody to not tell him in the hospital.
All right, go ahead, go ahead, X. They're trying to cut back on beheadings, but go ahead, X.
Well, because it doesn't matter. A bloodline doesn't matter, especially when you talk about Black society. Like it doesn't matter if the kid is yours or not. The kid is hers, and it's her kid. So that kid deserves to be taken care of by anybody. If you're the real father, great. But if you're not, so what? All right. Why do you think oftentimes when these dudes find out that these kids are not theirs and the kid is 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, the court will tell this dude, well, you were treating this kid like it was yours, so you're still responsible. Even though the DNA say it's not yours, she went out, she screwed your brother, she screwed your friend, she screwed some random dude at Freaknik. Doesn't matter. You have to take care of this child. Because, see, once again, when it comes to legacy, bloodline, lineage of a man, that is trumped by everything else. All right, they don't see it as important. It's irrelevant to the courts. It's irrelevant far as the legislation goes. It's irrelevant at the hospital, and it's definitely irrelevant to the mama. All right, it's all irrelevant, man. Especially if she's pulled the wool over your eyes for all these years, and you say, "Hey, look, I done went and got a DNA test. This kid ain't mine." The first thing she says is, "Oh, well, you've been acting like the father." She would never address the fact that she's frauded you for 5 years, 10 years. That would never be addressed. She will go right to deflecting on how you've been this kid's father, you love this kid, you've done this, you've done that. Because, see, what she did in the past to deceive you, that shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter. And it all falls into the quote unquote best interest of the child, especially when you're talking about the court system. All of that trumps you as a man. As a man, you are totally trumped. No matter how many people she done went out there and slept with, no matter how many of those kids that ain't yours and she's told them they're yours. None of that matters.
But the weird thing I don't understand about all of this, X, why are people acting like you can't get a paternity test before the child is born?
You can.
Well, you can, but this is the problem with that is, and this is why it's a cultural issue. As much as we're talking, and as much as it seems as common sense as possible, there's a lot of things that we say here that seems as common sense as possible. But the problem is that the culture is so jacked up that men are not empowered, or even they're afraid to go down that logic train of we can just get it beforehand. They're just afraid, and as much as it seems like they shouldn't be afraid, you should just get the information. They don't want to know.
Every time, SKC, real quick,
chat.
before you even go further with that, the whole idea of getting a paternity test, before the child is even born. Every time I've ever talked to anybody about that, or have done some research about that, the prevailing wisdom or prevailing thought or deflection is that it's too intrusive into, because they basically they got the process of doing it when the baby is in the womb is, mothers don't want to do that. It's not safe. They don't want to.
All right, now you're in my wife's wheelhouse. There's
Okay.
non-invasive paternity testing after the
Oh.
7th week.
Yeah, because before they had to do it via amniocentesis, right? Before,
like the sphere really should be talking about that. Like after the 7th week, there are non-invasive paternity tests that can be done.
Okay,
Well,
I didn't know
I
that.
think that's the thing. Yeah, nobody. I didn't even know that SKC. So, like I said, I think that's actually a great service and another example as to why we need to have these conversations. Because, like, to my what and the excuse, you know what, men are actually being lied to because, like Bernard said, it's still being said as well. Like, hey, it's invasive, and it's better to wait till after, and all these different things and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think we definitely need to start arming, brothers with that information, just men in general.
And I don't have no problem with that, but I need to answer that brother question. I was having problems with my microphone, all right? See, this is what I have a major problem with. Y'all got, what y'all call them, number 1 attorney, number 6 attorney, what y'all call them? The attorney who be speaking in the manosphere. What is his name? What y'all call him? What it don't
Lead
matter.
attorney or
Yeah,
or
lead
I was trying not to help him. He knew his
lead
name.
or
He
follow
said he was
attorney.
trying not to
Lead
help
or
him.
follow attorney. I don't give a damn what y'all call him.
I
Okay.
ain't follow it,
This
attorney.
is, okay. So
Follow attorney.
I don't give a fuck what y'all call him. This is why I say y'all don't use things to y'all benefits, because that brother question deserves an answer what I'm finna get. Most of y'all don't even understand how bills do come about. There's a lot of things in society they don't just do. You have to get a bill sponsored. All right? Once you get a bill sponsored, you have to bring it to your congressman, congresswoman in your fucking city, and then get a bill sponsored, and that's how you get laws changed. Now, I don't know why follow attorney is not letting y'all know this shit. I learned this shit almost 25 years ago. And so when y'all want to get us bill sponsored that you want to have where you mandatory when people get pregnant, they have to take that test, that's very easy done. When y'all come together and pull your resources together, because nobody likes to talk to broke people. See, that's the problem. A lot of y'all won't put your money where your mouth at.
Yeah,
And
but
to get a bill,
OG.
Wait,
OG.
can I finish? Can I land this plane, TP? You know we've been talking, we friends now.
Well, land
I know
it. Don't
everybody
crash it
hearing
into
this.
the airport.
I'm
Land
not
it.
gonna
Don't crash into the
because a lot
airport.
of these brothers don't
Oh,
even have an airplane. They
Will
flying
Wardrobe.
kite.
Hold on. Will Wardrobe says there's a guy named fraternity coach that's leading the charge on this. Go ahead and speak on that, Will Wardrobe.
Okay. So again.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear what he got to say on that. Go ahead.
So he's a guy that he's on social media, but he's been leading the charge in his particular state to sort of bring more awareness to this issue, because he was actually a victim of this, where he found out when his daughter was like 8 that she wasn't his, but him and his family still wanted to take care of the little girl. He just said she had to take him off of, child support and all of that. And the mama said no, and basically said you couldn't see the kid no more if he wasn't gone still be on papers and still take care of it. Now that child is grown now and actually upset at him because, so I guess because he left. That's why I kind of disagree with, I forgot who said it when they were saying, let the mom explain to you why your so-called dad is not there anymore, because they just gonna lie and say, well, because your father's not a real man, and he, I don't think you should let her control the narrative. That's just my opinion.
She's already controlled it by lying to you about the paternity.
Every time I get her to make a good point where y'all can take some strategy, and y'all always get flanked by some bullshit. Okay? I told you what you needed to do.
Right there.
No, I was not flanking, Bernard. I'm tired of you caping for these people on this damn show. Okay? I was giving you information that we have not only did, but we got the information from judges, lawmakers.
You was telling us the same thing that was in the goddamn cartoon. The Still Just a Bill cartoon.
Mr. Fantastic. Don't show your
What's a dirge?
Hey, Mr.
What's a dirge?
Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic, don't show your blackness on
still
this channel
just
today.
a bill.
Okay?
Y'all
know
telling
exactly.
us that.
Wait a minute. Y'all,
You came here too crazy earlier, man. Well, let me say my little piece, man, and get up out of here.
Can I? Hey, okay, I'm gonna let
You
you
done
say
been talking all day, OG. Come on, let me say my piece.
But I ain't get to answer. I ain't get to answer the question, Fantastic. Okay, please let me answer the question. I was giving y'all some information that y'all can take to your local councilmen, councilwomen, how you get a bill sponsored for the things that we are having in our community that is really causing us mayhem, that we can solve some of these problems if we just stop talking about certain things and get the action done. Now, I'm
Stop
saying you shouldn't talk
stop
about
raising awareness and building
no. I'm
support
not.
of
No,
the
no,
thing.
no.
Putting
I'm
it on the
wasting.
consciousness. Don't be an advocate for it. You ain't doing shit unless you're actually down there at Capitol Hill trying to get a bill signed into law.
Thank you. That's how you get shit done, Bernard.
No, don't say thank you. No,
thank you, Bernard. You just made my point. Fantastic. I'm using your word. He just made my point. That's the best thing to do.
No,
yes,
I did make the point because you're derailing the process. You're derailing the process.
Oh, don't say that, man. I had somebody jump out the window today, bro. Don't say that.
Can y'all hear me?
OG is saying.
You said you got to defend what he's saying. No, what he's saying is right. That's what we learned from the Schoolhouse Rock song. I'm just a bill. Like, so what he's explaining is absolutely right. Like, we get that, we understand that. But what he's doing is he's coming to the people who like our job in what we do, if I'm gonna call that a job, is raising awareness and talking about the shit. There's something called an advocate. There's advocacy matters, but also getting the bill signed into law matters. But nobody
that's else, the only thing matters.
In no other realm do people shit on the advocates who raise the awareness and the consciousness of the people to build the support for a bill that will get signed in a law, because politicians tend to do things by the will of the people. And if the people don't have the will to do it because they don't think it's a big deal, because they believe all women, you're getting in the way of the people that are debugging society from believing all women, which means you're running interference for the bullshit.
I agree.
That was good, but that's bullshit.
And OG at the same time. But there's a caveat that I think that OG may be missing. Like,
let me finish, and then you see if I'm missing. Let me see if I'm missing, bro.
You have to have the advocacy before the bill goes. But
I understand, but you don't have to have the advocacy for goddamn 20 years.
Yeah, right. And the problem I think is that you
OG, y'all been studying reparations for over 40.
Wait. And that's, you know why? Because people are doing the same thing you say I'm doing, but I'm showing you how to do it. That's the difference,
if you really want to get a bill like that passed, what you do is you snuggle it in with something else. Black women for the longest have been complaining about, they are not protected. They have in the health industry, they'll say that they have the worst outcomes when it comes to the medical industry and such and such. You create a bill around that, and then you snuggle in mandatory DNA testing along with pregnancy. That's how you.
Oh, well, thank you, Sherlock Holmes, because that's what the politicians do. You sponsor a bill first. He decides or she decides what she or he go smother it in. That's the process, bro. You don't have to worry about that process. What I'm saying is, if you talk about something for the last 20 fucking years and nobody have came up and told you how to sponsor a bill and get something pushed forward, then that's a major problem.
They're not going to sponsor that bill independently.
Yeah.
You have to put it in.
Listen, what I just said. The politicians usually do that, bro. You trying to put the goddamn cart before the horse.
You're not trying to put the cart before the horse. No. OG, hold on. Can I go?
Go ahead. Go
ahead.
Yeah, can I go again? Yeah, OG, you saying you understand, brother, but you I'm not saying you don't, brother. You know, wisdom, sage, all that good stuff. Listen, bro, you as a politician, we know black women have the majority of vote the most. What politician is going to survive re-election if you put a fucking bill in there for mandatory paternity tests? You're not going to get re-elected, bro. So like SKC was telling you, it's not about being scared. And see, OG, this is what I'm saying. This is where we get into it and where it kind of gets a little silly, because this is what we're trying to tell you.
Why do we get a little silly? Because y'all haven't did shit, and I have did it. My organization have did it. What the fuck are you talking about? It gets silly. It don't get silly. It took us 3 goddamn years to get it done.
Get what done, OG? We can't be
Get
talking about what
done
we
the
talking
same
about
time
here.
the same time that a woman goes down to the welfare office, they must get in touch with the father, and he cannot have any rears until they get in touch with the father. We got that fucking bill sponsored right here in California, so y'all just blowing
Was it
smoke up your
passed?
asses.
Oh, it's not.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
was
not.
passed. It was
And that
passed.
what? That okay, OG. Again, that's two totally different things. And like you said
No,
too,
it's not. You know how
look,
hard it was to
we
get
cut me
where
off.
the welfare office didn't want to have motherfuckers in the real. So when they take you down to the courtroom and the public defender, when they say the prosecution want to prosecute men for being in the rear, $5,000 and $6,000 in the rear, and he never even know the fucking woman was pregnant. You know how much that cleared up, keeping guys from losing their fucking driving license,
and we appreciate
losing their goddamn well bill of life.
We appreciate you, OG. But this is what I'm saying. And again, you literally just proved what SKC said. There is incentive on the other side. You have to have support other than your own. This is what we talk about all the time, where you have to have agency outside of yourself. If you're just the only person complaining, right? You're just a bitch ass dude or bitch ass group of people complaining. You have to have somebody outside of you that's not suffering from it, but has a mutual interest and benefit in order for it to get passed, especially on a political level, bro. And we're talking federal, okay? We're talking about national, federal level.
But I'm saying that when it's
OG,
fair,
brother, you keep
when it's
cutting me
dealing
off,
with
brother.
Come on, you keep.
I'm trying to.
This is what you do. No, bro, you put me on you put me on your shoulder, and then you turn around, give me a fucking flip, and kick me in the ass. That's what you've been doing. Yes, you do. You put me on your shoulder, and then you turn around, and give me a flip, and kick me in the ass at the same time.
OG, I'm giving you credit, and I'm acknowledging what you say you've done. I'm not discounting. OG, I'm being straight up. You know this. This ain't no gotcha shit. I mean, we're having a legitimate conversation, as I thought we were. I'm just giving both sides of the conversation.
Okay, I apologize if that's what
I'm just saying. I'm just giving both sides of the argument, brother. Like, calm down, man. I'm not coming in bad faith. I'm not coming in bad faith. What I'm saying is this. It's cool. It's cool. That's what I'm saying. The other side of it, man, is but the part that most people don't see and don't understand is that, again, you have to have the other interests, which we know is not going to be the women. And you talk about this. This ain't just black people. This is women in general. Bro, like the brother said, I think Vince Perkins said, bro, if the 30% is a small portion of the people that just get tested for whatever reason, if you make this mandatory, man, that number is going to scale up substantially. And I would say somewhere up to a 45% cap out. I'm not going to say half of them would be, but at least you could look at that scaling up a lot. And then too, the state doesn't have an interest in that, because why? Now the state is going to be dealing with a whole lot of other cases. You know how many more divorces you're going to have? You know how many child support cases you're not going to be able to file? You know how much money is going to be lost by doing this? So again, man, it's not just as simple as talk to your congressman or your senator and get them to sponsor the bill, because you have to understand, you know what I'm saying, the bigger picture here and who loses versus who wins. Nobody gives a fuck about men, bro, and your feelings. Nobody cares about you finding out that, the child you thought was yours and you raised and you took care of and you loved and you got, no one gives a fuck about that. You got to follow the money. So
fantastic. You gonna find out a lot of your friends is fucking your girl. So I understand all this, bro. What I'm saying is, it's good that if that happened, I want that to happen, but I want us to understand the strategies and understand the rules of engagement to make that happen. Talking about situation. Wait a minute. Talking about situation is good and fine. You're making people aware, but there has to be a time that you get the book and the pencil or the pen.
Yeah, when we, the individuals who are talking on YouTube,
organize,
get bills signed into law. Okay, yeah. I'm looking at the shit right now. Yeah, and in a lot of states, people are actually actively currently trying to do this.
Yeah, trying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of people are. Yeah, I'm looking at. I mean, actually, it's a fairly like men's rights activists been at this shit for a long time, and and they've been at this for a long time. And I'm looking at a lot of shit right now, and it's they are trying to do it. It's not working, but I guess they just gonna keep on trying for another 20 years. Like we just gonna keep on talking for another 20 years.
No.
I guess that's how this gonna fucking go.
Y'all want to say OG.
But y'all have these meetups, and y'all know how to mix every fucking drink in the bar. It's
you
not
can't
that
go with this whole
complicated.
idea.
Go ahead, SK.
OG,
No,
you
no,
can't
no.
go
OG,
with this idea
I
that
agree. Real quick, go ahead, SKC.
OG, you can't go with this idea that guys aren't coming up with solutions when we just got through stating that even before the bill and all that stuff, guys, if they want to, they can do non-invasive paternity tests before the baby is even born. And now they out of all of that in the first place. So a little money, pour into that to clear your mind, you're good to go.
Cool. Who's going to
no bill at all? No years of advocacy and all that other stuff.
That's cool. That women.
I know, but you
That's
suggested
cool.
that, and we agreed with that, and that made sense. But then he had to say, "But y'all ain't getting no bill signed in the law." So
no.
It's like,
Listen,
it's like
no. See, but now that you go caping again. Now you go
no,
caping
I'm not
again.
caping.
But
I'm not caping.
Yes, you
I'm
are. Because you act
coming
as
at
if
you
two
for your
things.
shit.
No. You act as if two things can't be happening at the same time, bro. There's a lot of guys out there. Listen, there's a lot of guys out there who are in position, and they are not like, you 6 and 7 figure guys who's on the YouTube. Not everybody's
what's
like
6 and
that.
7 figure guys on YouTube? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying there's 6 figure, 7 figure guys on YouTube. I mean, they can afford to have that test done.
That test is not expensive at all.
Okay, good. You give this information. I'm not talking about the information. What I'm saying is, up to this point, there are strategies that we can use as a group. And this is what I'm saying is, we talk to people all over this country and some international on these channels. And y'all know y'all do. You have people calling in from London and Canada and all over this pretty planet that we live in. And when I'm saying that people in the United States that we talk to, we could get together as a group and then come up with a think tank, how we move forward. That's more of what I like to do. I like to get policies passed, not sit there and just keep talking about it for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, we ain't as old as you. We ain't been talking for 20 years. A lot of these channels are fairly young, particularly mine. So quit making it seem like we've just been talking for 20 years. I understand you on a different time scale and lifespan is us.
You always try to take what I say and cut it up, and then when I try to cut up what y'all be saying, now you start to see. You do the same thing to me that I do to y'all, but y'all just don't like.
Okay, then deal with it. Then, goddamn it.
Have I ever complained about it? I come up here and fight on my own. My old ass come up here and put it in a good fight.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, OG. But I will say that prevention is better than reacting.
Most certainly.
So if people can, from
what did you not understand when I said choices from
the I want to hear SKC point. Come on.
Before the child is even there, you done already took care of that. It's over. So
let's take it a little further back than
as
that.
A group and advocating and all in the years of trying to put that inside of a bill that black women will sign off on as well. It's like no, all that you can bypass all that with
SKC.
Non-invasive. Let's use technology at this point.
SKC, what did you say first? What was the first thing you just said?
I don't know. Remind me.
You said that it's better than chasing being the lead.
Prevention is better than reacting.
Right. Now, what did you not understand, or anybody in this goddamn chat room didn't understand when I said choices? When all this shit starts, you always have choices. Way before you start having that fucking test, you had a choice from the beginning. So what I'm telling you is, if you want to use that word prevention, let's start prevention with better choices first.
Yeah, but OG?
But then if you say prevention from the thought of choices, then that goes back to my original argument of
I said it first though, and you act as if I didn't say it.
Now
you act as if I didn't say this at first.
It's decisions off of BS.
But when y'all try to attack me, y'all say as if I didn't say these things at first. And this is where I think it get a little goofy at. Because if I tell you it starts off with choices, choosing better women, doing this, doing that, doing that. That is the prevention.
You use it as a deflection. We will make a sound argument, and that it ain't even a situation where a man's choices are even at play. We'll make an absolute 100% sound argument, and you try to go back to some choices that don't even necessarily apply to try to deflect from what we're saying because you're trying to protect the woman from criticism. That's what this shit be about.
Oh yeah,
but no, I
because
do,
OG, you talking about
I,
choices, right? You said choices, OG.
If you're cut down that mic, I'm gonna cut mine up now.
If you're with a woman, right, and you and her are together, and y'all are in a relationship, or y'all are married, she has taken your choice away from you. If she done went out there and got knocked up and telling you that it's yours, she has taken that choice away from you, brother.
Oh, the white man have taken the choices from black people. Oh,
Lord.
God,
man, that's not the same.
Do you know the Lord?
Thing,
do you know the Lord? We go hold hands and sound kumbaya. Y'all use that arguments on me when I start talking about racism. I'm gonna use the same arguments against y'all ass when y'all start talking about this bullshit.
Yeah, but they are two different things, OG.
No, it's not.
How is that?
Either way, cause you're complaining about something you don't think is fair, and you don't have the skills enough to know how to move forward to tackle the problem other than talk about the problem.
How is that if you're in a relationship with a woman and she out there screwing
it don't make
somebody
no
else
difference.
and
You had
telling
to
you that it's your baby?
You had to choose that woman. Goddamn it, she didn't just land in your bedroom.
Mm-hmm. So you just assume
on that.
You assume your wife is screwing someone else.
You didn't just walk through the front room and fell on some pussy that wasn't supposed to be in your front room.
Oh God, OG, you know those two things.
I like that line of reasoning. I like that line of. I just wish that OG would apply it backwards, back to Africa. They didn't have to trade.
Oh, we don't talk about Africa, and we in America. We know we don't talk about no Africa.
All right. I
know you're not trying to use that.
We're gonna pass it. SKC. Well, you had a screen share up. Is this screen share still relevant to anything that we currently talking about?
Yeah, when you were having that discussion about what was that? The lady that was saying that she doesn't want her son. She didn't want her daughter to be a city girl.
Yeah, but she okay with her son being with one and whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Same thought here. It's only like 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
Your children are always there, so you have someone to call your own. So your children will smile when nobody else wants.
Do you want your kids to get married?
Sure, especially my daughter. My boys, they'll probably be what you call it? Freelancers.
Freelancers, yeah. Like their father?
Yeah.
Same thought process. And that was in 86. Same thing.
All right. Cool. Got it. All right. So Freeman's Journal, you said you got a question. Go ahead.
No, I was wondering, OG had said, it was the man's decision to make a good decision. So I would want to know if a 25-year-old man were to go to OG, what would he tell him? Like, how would he make a good decision so that 10 years hence, he could know all of his children are his?
Okay. I think that's a good question. And I know you disagree with 99% of the stuff I say, but I'm going to try to say it as clear and short as I can. I raised my daughter. She's 23 years old. She's never had a boyfriend, never went out on a date so far. Her mother's had the other half. I raised her till she was 12 years old as a single father, and then her mother had raised her to the next level. Both of us happen to be Muslims, so we pretty much are in the same thing. So yeah, if I had a 23-year-old son, I would tell my son to get to know the woman and her family and her friend way before he starts a relationship. That's just me. Because one thing I know, a woman can lie to you, and they will lie to you. And one thing I know, that when they get around family get loose and they start telling shit, and before you know, you'll know who you're dealing with. Look at her friends. Look how her friends roll. That's going to give you good indication. Nothing is going to be 100% perfect. I'm not even saying that. Right. Wait a minute, is somebody in a torture or in a dungeon or something?
It sounds like Freeman Journal got kids or grandkids or somebody around.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
The children.
Okay, I got you. And kids, I don't have nothing wrong with the kids. Children go be children. So that's what I would do, Mr. Journal, is try to give my son as much information I know by vetting and getting into a relationship after he did his vetting. Because you sometimes your emotion gets you so tied in a relationship and you start seeing these things that are supposed to be giving you stop signs and you are driven by the way you feel about the woman and you didn't give yourself enough time to develop who this woman was before you start developing feelings for her.
Okay, so
Okay,
let's
so
say
just
this.
basic general information that that any parent
And that protects
meet
your
the family.
paternity.
Meet the family, and then that you'll know that you're not going to have a woman that is going to have somebody else's baby.
No, I said when I'm saying it's a collective thing, and you just want to take my points and then you want to just shit all over them. Then you know, hey, you have the right to do. No, what I'm saying is more information. The more information you have about a person, bro, it gives you more understanding who you're dealing with, and that's just been my experience throughout life. I don't know what your experience been throughout life, or the people you are in relationship, friendship, contracts, business, and everything else. The more information you know about the person, the more that you can make a decent decision. It's deception that women play on guys by using their bodies and using their beauty.
Well, let me give
guys
him some game. You've been talking. Let me give him some game.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me
I helped this young man. Wait a minute, Bernard. I helped this young man right here.
You say you 25?
Can I get my rebuttal?
You say you 25, brother?
Go ahead, Freeman Journal.
So, I've met the family, and it's all women, and I've met the friends, and it's all women.
So look, let me get
those two. Hold on, those two. Jesus Christ, those two bits of advice, right? Meeting the friends and the family is going to secure paternity. I mean, that's it. I mean, I just wondered because throughout this conversation it has been, oh man, you just got to choose better. You tell me how to choose better, and it's to meet a woman's all female.
Right. Exactly. That's the whole reason why I got on.
Hold on, wait, D-Town reaction. Hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and finish up Freeman's Journal.
Yeah, let me go next, please.
No, I mean that was it. That's what I want to know because I kept.
All right, yeah. All right, D-Town. I think you heard something. Holy, come on, yeah, come on. Whoa, hold on, no, hold on.
But now he asked me the question. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, D-Town. I think you heard something wrong. Freeman's Journal didn't say he was 25. He said an example if somebody is 25. Freeman's Journal is closer to 50. So you said, let me give you some game, young man. I would just want to let you know.
Okay. Well, let me give some game to the 25-year-olds because it seems like y'all already see when I love when y'all talk because y'all OGs. You know what I'm saying? And I respect my OGs. You know what I mean? But at the same time, OG, y'all niggas not in the game with us no more with these women, bro. And what OG talking about, make sure you know she the right one. Just like all this shit, man. That don't matter about nothing no more, bro. These hoes lying. They conniving. They'll do what they want to do. Only thing you gotta do is protect yourself, bro. If you got a little chick and you fucking on her and you get her pregnant, all the 25-year-old little homies, fuck all that trying to see if she gonna be real, bro. Get you a DNA test right then and there, okay? And then that's how you just satisfy everything. Don't trust them. Don't think they gonna tell you the truth. None of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? As a man, yeah, you already fucked up by putting your semen in her. Okay, well, don't fuck up by trying to take her advice. You get what I'm saying? Or trying to take her word. Women lie, especially on some shit like that. So I understand what you're talking about, OG. You know what I'm saying? You can vet all you want, bro. You can do all that. You can do all that. You right, bro. But you gotta protect yourself as a young man right now. And I'm the same nigga that went to court, got custody of my daughter, all this shit. But it wasn't no trying to trust her and shit. Nah, nigga, I kept my foot on her neck to get what I needed to get for my daughter. You get what I'm saying? It's a whole.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, just making sure, yeah, because you are the person. You came back to it was a little while ago. You came back and you had said that you was talking to us on here about trying to get custody, and you had came back like 9 months later, basically saying the advice we gave you help you end up
No, he said
getting.
the advice OG gave me. You get the
No
shit straight.
bullshit. Okay. We'll
Okay,
let
you
him.
ask him and then
We'll let
he'll
him
tell you.
answer.
Okay.
Yeah, it was collective. You know what I'm saying? Advice. You, Bernard Riley, OG, shit, Mr. Palmer, lead attorney. I was
All
all
right.
around this YouTube shit. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So
Okay.
it was a
All
All
right.
right.
collective
Okay.
of men
We'll leave it
that
at
just
we'll
let me
leave it
know
at
what it
that.
was.
But I think where y'all miss out of the conversation, this conversation has went from A to Z. And I think each thing that y'all talked about, I gave my input what I think should happen. Y'all act as if when at the end of the day that I ended up and just saying, oh, vetting is the only thing. I address every fucking issue that y'all brought up, and then you end up talking about that my whole point of view was about vetting. I think that's disingenuous. And I think this is
Nobody.
no, I'm telling you, I think it's very disingenuous for every conversation that we have had today. I have addressed it. And I think if you listen to it, y'all come back and say the same shit that I say, but then you throw me under the bus because
Yeah.
I mean, you
you
should have
thinking
statement.
just because I'm old that I haven't seen this shit over and over. Y'all gotta,
So,
you know
so
what?
this is what I'm
Y'all
saying. So
gotta
this is what I'm
No,
saying. It's
no.
not so much
That
as
ain't
you
it,
old.
OG.
That's not the
You
thing.
probably
Cause I,
you use
cause I
one
think
point to try to derail another point to another point to another point. That
okay.
is
that, and that's all we saying.
it's the way in
No,
it's
that's
the
That's all we saying.
y'all. In the
OG
end of the
said he's
day,
been
y'all gonna
seeing this
see.
for a
In the
long
end of
time
the
because
day, y'all wait a minute,
y'all have to put
In the
respect
end
on
of the
his
day,
name
y'all
for
gonna
that because
see.
he is the oldest guy here, and he said and he's shown proof that he has known what he's been talking about. So I mean, OG Speed, how long have you been seeing this situation play out?
1980, I was the first person in Charlotte, North Carolina, to hold a sign up and saying the court was unfair for men. In Charlotte, North
So
Carolina, Whoopi Goldberg
Then
was
what?
doing her tour. Wait a minute. Whoopi Goldberg was doing a thing dealing with abuse and stuff like that, and then I held that sign up for a whole week. Okay, in Charlotte, North Carolina, Mecklenburg County. Okay, and that's what I did initially. Then I started educating myself,
oh
getting knowledge where you go to the next step. And so, what happened to me in my first custody battle didn't happen to me in my second because I was willing to go out there and get knowledge, understanding of the rules of the court. What was the most important thing that the court needed to hear? What other papers did the court need? And so the next time that was about to happen, it didn't happen in the same way it did the first time because I informed myself. I got tools to use in that courtroom and strutted through that courtroom and walked out with my baby in her bowels at 2 years old. So I'm just saying that.
So from your perspective, OG, since that time to the time that we see today, from your perspective, have things been getting better or worse in the way that the
It's
men been handling it?
it's getting worse because I think when we come into knowledge, and I don't know what field you are in, but I think you're into some kind of design and everything. You don't use old software where you try to go up and build somebody a web page or whatever. You get the best technology out there and you learn it. And then once you learn it, you apply it to your job. I think the problem is that these people are having problems and they think these problems are just start to exist. These problems been existing for a very long time. And what it is we have to you can't do the Martin Luther King thing today like you did back in the days. He left that on the table where you have to take these kind of things and tweak them and make them work for the time that you are in. So when I do come in here, I'm not telling you use old standard tools on metric boats. I'm telling you things that still work within the last 10 to 15 years that a lot of guys have not even tried to apply or attempt to apply these strategies in the courtroom. And when they do it, they found out they have better outcome. Now you can get mad at me all you want.
Why do you think
Wait,
that
wait, nobody, hold
these
on,
guys
real quick. Nobody gets mad at you for talking about strategies to apply in the courtroom. Their whole channels, Mr. Palmer, talk
Come
about
on, bro.
strategies to apply in the courtroom. On
A
here,
lead
I
attorney.
talk
Come on,
about
bro.
strategies to apply in the courtroom. We talk
Bernard
Lead
about
Riley.
attorney is the problem, bro. Lead
Bernard
we
attorney
talk
is
Riley.
the
about
problem.
all
No,
this
I'm
stuff.
sorry. Lead
No,
follow attorney
hold
is
on,
the problem.
hold on. Like
That's the
that's like
problem right there.
question.
That's the problem right there.
Not about to
No,
make
it's
it
not, bro.
seem
And I
like
can explain that to you. You ever want to have a
it's
conversation so
not,
I can leave you
not
my
about
number?
to
I'll show
make
you
it
why that a
seem like
problem.
not about to make it seem like we don't talk about solutions and strategies. Like that's what the fuck we talk about. Like,
What I'm
Come
trying
on,
to
bro.
understand from OG's perspective,
oh
because he
yeah,
stated from the very beginning, he told us the history of it, and then where people are today, and that they're not applying it. And I'm just trying to understand from his perspective. So over the years and decades that have occurred, from your perspective, why haven't these guys been applying this information to help themselves?
Because it's just like everything in life, and I'm gonna just be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything.
Oh my God, just answer the question.
You see what it just happened right there? That's why,
S-
brother. No,
SKC. When
see
you
what
okay, go ahead.
no, you see,
You know, just
what
answer.
just
No,
happened
no,
right
seriously.
there?
I know. He
That
shouldn't
ain't-
interrupt you like that.
just he just answered the question. Y'all don't have respect for elders, bro. Y'all don't
No,
have
that's
y'all
not
don't
the
have
answer.
respect. Let me
Listen,
finish.
not
I'm answering. I am
no,
answering
you're
the
not
question,
about.
Bernard.
No. Okay, no. He asked, "Why aren't men doing these things?"
Because you don't have fucking respect for people who know.
What are you talking about, bro?
No,
The fuck is you
no.
talking about?
I accept that. I accept that. Where does that come from, OG?
Because it's
Where does
just
that
like
come from? The
it comes from every
Yeah.
woman.
The lack of respect between the generations in the community. Like, where does that come from?
I can tell
Well,
you. I'm a 30-year-old man. I can
Well,
tell you.
no,
From the,
I'm
you want to
asking
hear it from
OG.
a youngster?
I'm asking OG. I'm asking OG.
Man, I can tell
I'm
you
trying
from a
to have a
youngster
serious.
why we don't
I'm
fuck with
trying to
these
tell you.
niggas.
Wait.
Hold on.
I'm trying
D-Town reaction. Hold on, real quick.
because
Okay.
every generation SKC has a disconnect. But we are into new technology where disrespect, a lot of things have happened. Kids are put in schools with guys 17 and 18 when they should be in junior high school. So they changed the whole structure of schooling and learning and everything. And this device that we have in our hand that we can Google things, fuck what your parents are saying. This is not what this device is saying. And not knowing that there's a lot of misguided information on this device. It's just we living in that world now. We live in that world where things are speeded up so fast. Children are growing up so fast. I don't see this in the Asian
But
community
no,
a
let me go
lot.
next.
I don't see this in the Asian community a lot. They respect their elders, even their elders is acting stupid. I'm just saying this: we have a lack of moral respect for elders,
But
and
no,
I'm
let
just
me go
being
next,
serious.
please.
And
No.
how long you think that, from your perspective, OG? How long has that been going on? Like, just from since
Wait,
the
no.
80s, or has it, or
SKC,
did it happen?
I gotta put
Let
a
me go
halt
next,
on
please.
your line. Jesus Christ. I gotta put a halt on your line of questioning for OG because it's just rabbit holing at this point. I think it was on a good path where you was saying, you was asking the question, why don't guys know? And I think the answer to I think the answer to that question, and the irony in that question, is that, well, it is men online trying to inform men. And for some reason, OG seems to raise sword and shield to go to war against those men who are
Right.
online informing men about
Informing.
things that they need to know.
My
So
point is
that's where I thought you was trying to go with it, but right now is rabbit
Ask the
holing.
guys who I help. Ask the guys who I help.
And
Boy, that's nonsense.
that's the crazy part about it, because I think if an individual man comes to you for individual help, you will help him, but you rally against us. Why? Because in addition to giving men advice, we also criticize the hell out of the
You are
women
fighting
who
a
are
bad
doing the
war.
fuck shit. And you
I
fight,
see you
and
fighting a
you
bad
fight.
war.
I know you fight against us because we criticize
Because you're
women.
fighting a bad
But if the
war, and I'm trying to help you.
if the criticizing of women and the what do they call it, the edutainment, brings in the crowd, and the crowd is here, and we tell men what they need to hear and educate them in the process of that, then if the part of that, I don't even know if this is the right term, but the part of that Faustian bargain is that the black woman, your queen, got to get criticized, and goddamn it, she got to get criticized. All right, and that's what's happening here, and you got an issue with that, so you fight against men who you know is doing the right thing.
Right.
That's what's happening.
And I could tell you why the youngsters don't really.
And when it's all
And I can tell you why the youngsters
we gonna see
don't
who
mess with the
was
old
on the
heads
right
right
side
now,
of
bro.
history.
Let me
When
tell
it's
you why
all
the
said
youngsters
and
don't mess
done,
with
we
the
gonna see
old
who
heads.
was on the right side of history.
Let me tell you why the
I'm not
youngsters
trying to
don't
have
mess
a.
with the.
I'm not trying to have an old head, young head debate.
I'm just
Right?
trying to.
I know.
It's just two things. But no, it's just two things, bro. When we was
All right,
growing up,
make it
our
quick.
fathers
We don't
wasn't
go to
there,
hood.
fam. You get what I'm saying? However it happened, when we was growing up, our fathers wasn't there. So shit, when we grew up, nigga, now we see some niggas trying to tell us what to do and shit like that, nigga. We not trying to hear y'all niggas, bro.
That sound like you got a mental
You know what I'm
problem,
saying?
bro.
That's
That
just
sound like you
what
got
it
a
is.
fucking mental problem.
I'm
That sound like you need to go get some emotional intelligence. You need to go see why did you
that's
have
why the
hatred
youngsters
towards
do
your
what they
father
do,
not being
and
in
they
your
just
life.
go find
That
other
sound more
outlets.
like a
You get what I'm saying,
fucking
Bernard?
mental challenge.
You feel me?
All right, go. All right, go ahead, conservative. Take us home because we about to get up out of here. I see people coming. Holy shit, people coming in the back. I apologize. Yeah, I picked the wrong time. We about to get the hell up out of here. Oh shit, hood conservative just left. So look, all right, we about to wrap this up. I got to get off here. We went way longer than what I intended on doing it. Shout out to, I don't even think I acknowledged What We Know podcast. He said word of the administration. He's talking about the way OG talk. Shout out to you, Will Wardrobe, who's on, I think, still on the panel. He says Boomer can talk for days. Shout out to you, appreciate that. And What We Know podcast says again, 2 OG words of the day: 1, dominion, and ministration. He when he was talking about a woman's menstrual cycle, he said her administration. He did say that. So yeah, all of
I
that,
did
all of that
not
happened.
say that. I play
I
and read back,
believe.
and you'll see where words was put in together, but I did not say what you said.
All right. That's all good. That's all good. But yeah, I scam likely come back another day. You be wilding like OG, and I can't. We got to get up out of here.
Let my buddy up for a second.
We getting
Bernard,
up out of
please.
here.
But Bernard, please, Bernard, please for just 2 minutes, please, Bernard. I never ask you for anything. Would you just please give Scam like 2 seconds?
I'm trying to get out of here.
I know you, Bernard. Can you just do that for me?
He gonna say some
Bernard,
shit that's gonna have me on for another 30 minutes.
Can you just? I know, but I'm saying he's not that long-winded. Bernard, could you please let my buddy up for 2 minutes, please, Bernard? Just
go
please
ahead,
do this for me.
Go ahead, hood conservative. Go ahead. Hood conservative. Are you there?
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. 95.
We can hear you.
Oh, I can't. I don't know. My signal's bad. My signal real bad. I was gonna say though, most guys don't really get this lesson plan from childhood. And if you were to get this lesson from childhood, you're basically telling me women are going to become your enemy at some point in the future. So what's the point of all this lovey-dovey black love community stuff? I think that's the hypocrisy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I know you would. Go ahead.
No, he said it. That was it. He knows how to come up and drop the mic fast and then get the hell on out of here. All right, we gonna let scam. Okay, we got scam likely.
Please help me out.
Scam likely. I'm actually damn near giving you the last words. Go ahead.
The normal, the women are the enemy. Whoa, all the women's the winners. The mom. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're old or young. Bad information is bad information. Just like when I came up and tried to give some solutions the other day. Like, look, how about taking care of your physical health, your mental health, fixing your attitude, becoming a more positive person, productive, working on your money, going to the gym, doing the things next to having a smile on your face, and actually making an environment around you. They said no. No.
That ain't what happened.
All the women's.
That ain't what happened. You tried to get us to join together, hold hands, and Care Bear stare the problem away. That's what you tried to do.
Absolutely.
You wanted us to do it. You wanted us to do a Care Bear stare.
They said no. We're gonna eat donuts and butterbean pies. We're gonna be angry, miserable. Get on the phone. All the women's, all black women, bliggity black women. All child support.
All right, we getting out of here. Special thanks and shout out to Machismo TV.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
All right, go subscribe to Machismo TV. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate everybody for coming on the show. Even OG. We got to get up out of here. We went way too long. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you go subscribe to Machismo TV. Best manosphere male-centric clips highlight reel show on the internet. We've done so much, so little for so long. We're now qualified to do anything with nothing. Go subscribe to them. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.